Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Games Done Quick Hotfix on this wonderful Friday evening. My name is Adef, and this is Challenger Approaching. Gamers, we have a real treat for you this evening. I've been wanting to have Soulsborne games on here since the show began, and we're finally making it happen. So everybody, be sure to keep your eyes on the screen as Lil Aggie is going to be showing off Dark Souls Remastered, Consumables only. But before we get into that, just a few quick announcements. Frost Fatale's game and volunteer submissions are now closed, but One and Doneathon submissions are now open until November 21st. One and Doneathon is a new series of weekend marathons on the GDQ Hotfix where every runner only ever gets to show one run on the series. Think about what game you most want to show off in a showcase and submit it to us. You can find information at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And AGDQ 2022 Gamers, it's starting January 9th, just a little under 2 months away. Visit gamesdonequick.com for more information and detailed dates on the event. But that's in the future. We're in the now. And what is happening in the now is Lil Aggie's here. Aggie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ada?
You know, I am having a great evening, and I'm even more pleased that we're going to see some high-level gameage on the stream.
High level, yeah.
High level, and I just threw gameage is new to me, but I just used it, so it's canon now.
Okay.
But Aggie, why don't you explain a little bit about what's going on, and then feel free to give a countdown whenever you're ready.
Sure. So this is Dark Souls Remastered Consumables only. What is a consumable? Basically, it's a weapon that you buy at a merchant. It is a limited quantity in your inventory, and then you throw it at people, and it does damage. What is not a consumable? Any weapon you equip, any spell, any bow, anything that you would normally attack with, even your fist or like your foot or anything. None of that. Just fire bombs, throwing knives, even poop. There is a poop throwable, so we'll be using that one as well.
Excellent. Well, Aggie, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a countdown.
All right. Let me get to the character creation screen real quick. Adef, do you have a name for us? Any suggestion?
Challenger Approaching is definitely a show that is all about the lore from the last episode, of course.
Okay.
So, Martin Baseball.
Martin Baseball. I'm going to need an explanation. Okay. It's going to be Martin Baseball.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Martin Baseball is perfectly acceptable.
Cool.
The Challenger Approaching warriors in the chat will understand. I'll explain a bit later.
Excellent. All right, real quick before we start, I'm just going to point out we're going to start the Thief class for a couple reasons. Mostly they start with the Master Key, and the Master Key is by far the best starting item. But obviously we can't use the Master Key because we need to go with the Black Firebomb, because that is a consumable, and we need to kill a boss right at the start. So we're going to go Thief, Black Firebomb, and that's about it. All right, you ready for the countdown?
We sure are.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you. So this starts pretty easy, I would say, honestly. It's going to be not too bad for a decent bit here. We're just going to run along. We got our fire bombs. Of course, we got to kill the Asylum Demon at the start. I did not mean to jump there. That's a common theme in Dark Souls. You always accidentally jump.
I'm pumped to see this. I don't know. I got nothing really valuable to say in the moment other than I'm very excited.
It gets pretty silly at some points. So yeah, we have 5 different consumables in our arsenal here. We're gonna use all of them at least once. But first off, we got the Asylum Demon. Gonna throw a firebomb right as he jumps down there. Gonna get 3 off and then hopefully roll a time. Nope. That's okay. He's not very tough anyway. He's just gonna take 2 more. And there he goes. It's a very cheesy way to do the first boss, but I mean, cheese is what we're all about here. So.
I think that's perfectly fine considering the restriction.
Yeah. Gonna use every possible advantage we can take here. And of course, we're just gonna leave our weapons on the ground there, because who needs them?
So is there really much of an emphasis on equipables as far as like rings, armor, that sort of thing? or is that, you know, in
Not
classic sort of Dark Souls speedrunning
really.
sense?
So we're gonna pick up a couple different rings and armor pieces. It's mostly just to make me as unkillable as reasonably possible, because you can't boost your consumable damage in any form. So we might as well
Right.
just spend all the levels we can, just making us as tanky as possible. So hopefully we don't die. So we picked up the Estus from our boy Oscar there, and the key to get out of here. And we're moving on to the main game.
Would you like to know the lore behind Martin Baseball?
I would love to know the lore. Know the lore behind Martin Baseball.
He wants to know the lore. Okay, so you know your good friends Dangers and Fur Underscore. They were on this show, I guess 2 weeks ago, and Fur was playing Super Mario 3D World, and there are baseballs in that game, and somehow it came to light that I evidently have an uncle named Martin Baseball, and he is a baseball, and all he says is baseball, but he's also the CEO of baseball, so whenever baseball is being played, he's there.
Interesting.
And that's really all you need to know. That's basically the complete compendium on Martin Baseball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of lore I was expecting, but that's great. Also, right now I'm just grabbing a couple souls that are lying around because we got to do a little shopping to get enough consumables to actually be able to kill anything. So we're just grabbing what we can here. It's not really necessary, but I mean, I might as well get as much money as I can. Also, as far as much of the game we're going to be playing today, it's going to be as much as I have time for. I put the estimate as 3.5 hours. I think we're going to shoot for closer to 3. I don't really know exactly how long this will take in terms of number of bosses we can get done in that time frame, but definitely at least the ones that we need to. So we'll see.
That much we know.
Yeah. Okay. Ship it off to Undeadburg here. Actually, there's one more shows you to pick up here. Oh, that guy's gone.
There goes that guy.
It's 60 in the bank. Oh, that guy might die too. These guys better not body block me. Oh, okay.
Good God.
Squeezing around enemies in this game is very questionable sometimes. Little spooky.
A little bit.
Especially in these early areas. These hollows are actually probably the hardest enemies to get around. After that, in the later areas, it's not super bad. We're gonna try to roll through a dragon here. I didn't do it. Okay. That's fine. That guy's gonna jump into us. That's fine. And now we're gonna shop. So this guy sells fire bombs and throwing knives. We don't really care about the throwing knives too much. I'm gonna go with 40 fire bombs. That seems like a healthy amount. I know, that's all we're gonna need for tourist amount. Yeah, no. We'll be buying 99 of the better items. The fire bombs are gonna become pretty irrelevant pretty quickly, because there is the black fire bomb that we use for Sound Demon that's just strictly better. These guys just really like jumping into me, my god. So normally you would kick that guy in the door out of the way, but I mean, I'm not gonna try to use my foot here because it's not a consumable.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could consume your foot, but it's probably not recommended.
I would say no, it's not recommended.
Do a little Donkey Kong action there, jump over the barrel.
Love to see it.
And on to the first actual boss here. Did I equip? I did not. That's probably a good idea.
That's always been sort of like one of my favorite parts of Dark Souls speedrunning is the active menuing.
Yeah, since the pause menu doesn't actually pause the game, you gotta be real efficient when you're doing things. So I'm gonna be a little baby here and climb up here and firebomb these guys so I don't get trolled. I don't know how many people know this, but the Taurus demon will actually also jump up here, and we can just fight him up here instead of on the teeny tiny bridge, which is a little bit easier. There he is. That just phased through him. Okay, that one perfectly arched over him. Off to a great start here. So this guy doesn't take too many. Okay, good. It's like, what, like 10-ish?
It's a lot fewer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I told you, it starts out pretty easy. It's not too bad at the beginning. I gotta try not to die here. That's probably important. Expert Dark Souls player, by the way. You got the best of the best here.
Well, the YouTube thumbnails would have me believe.
Yeah. I know my way around a meme Dark Souls runner, too. I don't know if I'm exactly the greatest player in the world, though. But that's okay, because I don't have to be.
And that's the spirit of this show.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the best to be on this show.
All right, there goes our friend Taurus Steven. What a guy.
GG.
Thank you, thank you.
So I know that the Dark Souls speedrun itself employs quite a lot of glitches, including some out-of-bounds nonsense. So I'm curious if there are any glitches used in this run, or if you are keeping it glitchless.
I am gonna attempt to keep it glitchless. We can emergency wrong warp to Gwyn if I'm just really sucking, but we're gonna try not to do that. Because yeah, there are a ton of duping you could do, so I can just get infinite stuff and infinite souls and all that. But I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge if I could just mega level myself. So we're gonna try to do this glitchless. Do I want that? I don't think I do. We're gonna risk it here. So this dude with the shield is extremely annoying because he just stands there with his shield. Oh, we got him. Okay, wow. That usually takes way more fireballs than that to actually get one to connect. So next objective here is we're gonna head over to the gargoyles, take care of them. We're gonna send the elevator down to Firelink for later. And then we gotta do some more shopping to pick up our other consumables. Firebombs are not gonna cut it for the rest of us. I don't know why I picked that up, but I sure did. Okay.
Well, now you have it.
Yeah. Never know when you do a basement key.
You never know.
Let's go ahead and send this down. I'm gonna just wait on this side so I can heal without this dude hitting me in the face. Boop, 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 doo. I see the chat asking if firebombs are sustainable. Answer, kind of. The way, if we're like in a real pinch for money, is we can just go to the Drake on the bridge and just have him burn the dudes over and over again. But ideally, we just keep killing bosses so that we never get in that situation. There is a lot of gamers there, so we're just gonna quit out to put those back in their spawn positions.
Yeah, Aggie, would you mind actually explaining the sort of quit out process and what that changes within the game?
Yeah, so whenever you quit out, it saves exactly where your position is, but all of the enemies go back to wherever they normally spawn at. They also, of course, lose aggro on you until they see you again. So if you ever get in a pinch where you're stuck or an enemy is just blocking your path, you can just quit out to kind of reset them and then squeeze by like we just did. And now it's time for the gargoyles.
Ye olden gargoyles.
Yep. These guys are not too much tankier than Taurus Demon here. We're gonna... Okay, that was a hitbox. We're gonna save the black fire bombs until both of them spawn at once here, so that we can... What is going on with these hitboxes? I didn't even see that attack, but okay, whatever. That's fine. So we're gonna hit him with the normal ones. God, I love hitboxes. We're gonna hit him with the normal ones till he's about half health, and then we'll switch to the black fire bombs so we can melt him down real quick before we get overwhelmed. Now the bad thing about fire bombs is if you lock on and throw them, they miss like every time. It's just terrible auto aiming. So we gotta have to free ball it here. I'd like to think that my baseball skills are pretty good, so I guess our name's really quite appropriate to be Martin Baseball. So we're
yes.
chucking him.
Our king, Martin Baseball.
Okay, that's fine. So we're back to 1v1. We should be pretty safe at this point. I'm gonna go back to the fire bombs just to conserve the black ones because they are more expensive when we're needing to buy more later. Two more. And there we go.
GG.
Thank you, thank you.
We love to see our king, Martin Baseball, taking down the Bell Gargoyles first try. It's always good.
Yeah. So far, so good. So they're gonna get us 10,000 souls, which is quite nice, because, again, we need to buy some better gear here. First, we're gonna go up and ring the bell, because of course. Pull the lever there. And voila. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these phones to go back to Firelink.
And obviously, because you're not using glitches, you can't do the whole sends Fortress early
Yeah,
thing.
of course not. No. And I don't even think I would want to, necessarily. Well, okay, maybe I would. Quelaag, the next required boss to ring the second bell, is one of the more difficult... Where am I going? This is the wrong way. One of the more difficult encounters in this run. She's immune to fire bombs, so that means we have to find a different solution, and we definitely have a different solution. It's it's pretty amusing. It takes a while though, but you'll see when we get there. First, we got to pick up the goods.
A lot of people in chat are asking if it's an all bosses run. What Aggie is going to do is definitely all of the required bosses, but then we're going to try to, keep it a little tight for the show right after, because of course we have 2 shows this evening. But if there is extra time, Aggie will show off extra bosses.
Yeah, we can take boss requests from guys if we have time. I just tried to do a fancy jump there. I did not do the fancy jump, so we're gonna try again. Gonna skip our way into lower Undeadburg here. I'm taking the long path. We gotta jump off this, land right there. Then we can slide on in here. We are going to abuse the quit out situation again. Okay, yeah, that's not exactly where I wanted to quit out. This is gonna be interesting. Just thinking I'd get to the other side of them and then quit out, but Oh, okay, that's gonna be a quit out again before he stabs us in the back. Yep.
This is good.
Oh, this is great, yeah. Oh god. Actually, I think I can just book it. I somehow navigated through that, blinded by the menu without dying. Okay.
Hey, that was just fine.
It sure was. Okay, well, it was, and now it's, fine. It's still fine. So we got the quit out of, somehow. Expert level gameplay, as always.
Expert level
I
gameplay.
rolled that somehow, okay. We should be pretty good now. This guy's chasing us way more than he normally would care to. Not very cool of him. Okay. I don't know how, but we survived that.
I'm so proud.
Me too. Sort of. I mean, you know, it took a good half dozen quit outs, but you know, we're alive.
Half
And
dozen
now
quit
we're
outs
at-
is better than one game over.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the poop lady. She sells poop. We need a lot of poop. I'm gonna buy. Let's go with 60. 60 poops, please, and let's do one purple moss clump. You'll see why we need that, and then we should. Oh, she doesn't. Oh, the other guy sells the throwing knives. Oh shoot. Okay. I got confused. Well, we can go with poison knives. That will also work. We'll just buy those. Sure. We'll pop all our souls here. How many knives is this gonna get us? 33? Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, thanks, lady. So that's Poop Lady. She sells infinite amounts of poop, which is good because we need a lot of poop in our lives for this run. And we're just gonna throw a ton of dung pies on Quelaag. Because again, she's immune to fire bombs because she is a fire spider lady. Fire bombs would be our main source of damage for most things. And throwing knives, the other damaging item we have, does 12 damage a knife, which is terrible. So the solution instead would be to throw dung pies on her until she gets the toxic status effect. And then we can throw poison throwing knives on her until she gets the poison status effect as well, because those are two different things for some reason. And she's pretty resistant to poison. Like, one of the most resistant bosses in the entire game to poison. But it's better than being completely immune. So, do you want to take a guess at how many dung pies this takes to poison our dear Lady Quelaag?
Well, you bought 60, and I bet you're planning that you might miss like 10 or 15, so I'm gonna say 40.
Actually, an overestimate. She takes 25 consecutive poops. So,
Still,
of course,
still
we
more than
can't.
it should be.
Yeah, we can't do 25 consecutive, so it's probably going to take us closer to like 30-ish. But we bought 50 because we're just going to try to not come back there later for more shopping. Because we're going to use the dung pies for some other people as well to take significantly less. But yeah, the bulk of these will be thrown in Quelaag's face.
Gamers, I implore you to do something, and this is something, it's actually interesting. What I'm about to ask you to do is free of charge. It costs no money, and will make your life measurably better. So
Wow.
follow Lil Aggie on twitch.tv/Lil Aggie. It's actually just 2 clicks from the chat room. The link will be in the chat regularly this evening from yours truly, so just pop over there, drop a follow, support the rep.
Yeah. I thought you were for sure going to plug Twitch Prime for GDQ. But, I mean, you could also do that, chat, if you really wanted to.
Go to Lil Aggie and use your Twitch Prime, and...
Or that. I mean, I won't say no. So we're gonna grab the bonfire down here because I'm a little baby and I'm afraid that I'm gonna die to Quelaag. So we're gonna make this at least a somewhat shorter run back if we die.
This is a bonfire I did not know about until way after Blighttown in my casual playthrough.
There's a lot of tricky bonfires in this game. They like to hide them.
Granted, I feel like Quelaag is like not too difficult.
Yeah, she's not too bad. The thing is, Toxic ticks very, very, very slowly. So
Right.
we're gonna be dodging her for like a long time. Like a really long time.
I'm very intrigued.
You'll see. So another reason we picked the Thief as our starting class is his armor actually has pretty decent poison resist. Which, I mean, we're still gonna get poisoned and toxic. Because if I didn't mention it, when you throw a dung pipe, so it applies some toxic to the enemy you hit with it, but it also applies toxic to you. which means that I'm gonna get toxic at the same time as Quaylog is gonna get toxic. Actually, way before, because she has way more resistance than me. But we have the one blooming purple moss clump to restore our status here. After we finally get this to pop on her. So if you want to try to keep track by counting, chat, be my guess. Again, it's going to take about 25. We just threw 3. And yeah, that's about all that goes into this fight.
This is gameplay.
This is technically gameplay, yes. I'm thinking this will probably be the second longest fight of the run. So the toxic status effect, once we do finally get it to proc, lasts for 10 whole minutes. It's not gonna take quite 10 whole minutes for it to kill her. Especially since we're gonna throw some throwing knives at her as well to help ship her down. But it's still gonna take a while. It will be a while.
This is something else. This is pretty much exactly what I envisioned when you told me about this run. I was like, yeah.
Wow, she actually. Oh no, that's rough. Okay, well, that happens. She tends to miss if you're just right in front of her. She got a little turn on us there though. Fortunately, she did it soon enough so that I still have plenty of dung pies to at least kill her. And I also didn't use my blooming purple moss yet, so we'll be okay. Minor setback.
I can't believe my GDQ streamer died.
I know. I'm the worst.
I don't know about that.
The other slightly unfortunate thing about the situation is that the bonfire that I'm sitting at is not kindled, which means it only sets me back to 5 Estus. And since I have not very much health and I'm getting poisoned a lot, I need as much Estus as possible. If we really need to, I can kindle it, because I do have some humanities in my back pocket, but I'd rather save them for later. So let's see how round 2 goes here. Good. Good start. Okay. Oh, I'm stuck. Wow, that's actually incredible. Thanks, Quayla. Appreciate it.
That's a nice little true combo.
Yeah, it happens. I was literally just about to say that you typically don't want to be on her backside because you'll get stuck in her legs, and also she has a booty shake attack that will kill you every time. And then it just happens. So just a little live demonstration for you, chat. You're welcome.
It's all about showing and not telling.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
That's only 1 dung pie waste. That's not too bad. I promise you it gets easier again after Quaylog here. We'll at least be making some decent progress for a while. Really, after her, we're pretty much good until 4 Kings, and then we're gonna cry a lot, but we're gonna worry about that later.
Gamers, get your whatever emotes you have to bless little Aggie here.
Yes, please. That one's a miss. So this takes a lot of dung pies, but luckily they wear off like relatively slowly. So I don't have to be like super concerned with constantly checking them. I just gotta do it when it's safe. And also try not to miss, which I'll be honest, I've kind of missed like the past 3 of them, but that's okay. I think we started at 43 this attempt, maybe 42. So we should be proccing the poison effect somewhere around like 10-ish left, 10 or 15-ish. Depending on my accuracy here. And I do apologize if I get a little quiet now and then, because this is a somewhat stressful situation.
No, all good. I'm also just kind of letting the game speak for itself.
Okay. Nothing like throwing poop on a spider lady.
Very, it's an image.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was an angle that he can attack at, apparently. She, rather.
Yeah, that was quite the alley shot there.
Barely got away with that one, but we did get away with them, so it's all good. It should proc. I'm a little nervous that I missed too many. We're getting down to the wire. Come on, Quayla. Get here for me. Start taking damage. Oh, there it is. Okay, you can see, if you look at the pixel of her health, it is ticking. Okay. So, again, it ticks a little slowly, but it will kill her as long as we don't die. So in the meantime, I'm gonna cure my own toxic. And we could just wait her out. I'm gonna try to apply the other poison effect on her. Because right now she is toxic, she is not poisoned. Those are two different things. We'll see if we can apply it so that she starts ticking twice as fast. At the very least, we are doing 6 damage a throwing knife, which, I mean, is more than 0, so.
Definitely more than 0, can confirm.
Yep. I promise they're not all gonna be like this, chat. My like's just a little special. So I'm not sure what our actual total health count is. I want to say it's something in the 3,000s, which is definitely up there.
6 is really a big chunk.
Yeah, I mean that's what I don't know. I'm not exactly great at mental math. What percent of that would be?
6 over 3,000 is like 0.05% or something.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Maybe?
Sure.
Let's find out. 6 divided by 3,000. Sorry, it's 0.2%.
Okay, that would make sense because 6 divided by 3 would be 2.
Now that's some knowledge right there.
Yeah, that I can handle.
I was thinking 30 over 6, which is why I said 5.
That's fair.
I think when Miyazaki imagined this boss, this was exactly
Oh, this is the
what he
intended
has
strat for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt. So if I was smarter, I probably would have gone back to the other undead group shop to buy not poison throwing knives, because those actually do twice as much damage. They just don't have the poison effect. I figure we'll break about even here, assuming this poison effect ticks, which it should. It's impossible to tell because it's ticking so slowly, and she's already taking damage, so it's not really noticeable, but it probably applied. One more here, and then we are really just gonna chill for 5-ish minutes. I can't tell, judging by her health bar, if she's double poisoned or not. She's definitely at least single poison though, and it'll last long enough to kill her. So we're good. Chat says they think they saw the bar speed up. Okay, I'm gonna trust you.
I am gonna agree. I also think I see that. I mean, I can't
Usually
really
they get
confirm,
kind of
but-
like staggered so that you can see it's ticking more frequently. Sometimes it lines up that they're ticking at the same time. Also, she's really boxing us in here. Not a big fan of this Quaylog. Oh no. Don't even think about it, Quaylog. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That's not great.
That's really not great, is it?
I think the optional boss content might not happen.
So we're in a bit of a situation now in that I already spent all of my souls, right? So I think this calls for a little bit of cheating, chat.
I think that's okay.
I think we're just
that's
gonna do a
okay.
little cheating. So we'll spawn myself in some items. We'll do as many as I had. That was pretty ridiculous from Quaylog there. I've never seen her zone me like that before. Yikes!
It's okay. It's all good, gamer.
Yeah. No, we just have to wait another 10 minutes. You know, it's no big deal at all. Really, I'm glad. I mean, this is peak content right here.
Peak content.
Peak content.
If you had some image of this run that didn't involve throwing hundreds of dung pies at Quelaag, then I'm not sure you're at the right show, to be honest.
I would have to agree with that. No, I would have to agree with that.
The Martin Baseball is in the chat room, so you
what's
have
up,
that
Marty?
power with you.
Good. Now let me pull up my definitely not cheating program real quick. We're just gonna spawn in some more dung pies.
Let's go.
We'll go with
Just pop 60 of those bad boys.
yeah, let's just do 60. And you know what? Let's pop in poison throwing knives as well. And okay, we're back to the races. I'm not temmed in. There we go. Okay. Great. Oh, except, oh no. Okay, hold on. I need to cheat a little more, chat. Because I need the thing to heal me as well. That's a little important. Especially with only 5 Estus in this little health. Where is that? Blooming Purcell. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Remember, chat, that if you ever fail at doing something, you can always just cheat.
That is a life lesson that we love to share here at Challenger Approaching. Just cheats. There's no other reason to do anything else.
Yeah. I mean, why not? If it works, it works. I'm actually devastated that happened. I was expecting to have some problems with some things in this run. This is not one of them.
I think it's understandable to be upset.
Usually a pretty good babe. Relatively cooperative. She's just spamming the heck out of this fire. Let's see what we started at 60. We're at 41 now. I've definitely missed a few. We'll probably pop her like 25-ish. What are we doing here? Okay. That was interesting.
So gamers, for those of you just tuning in, this is Dark Souls Remastered consumables only, so Aggie can only use consumable items, i.e. items that, you know, the number of them goes down as you use them. They're purchasable from shops, so no weapons, no equipable items, you can't punch, you can't kick, and we're on Queelag here. She's being rather mean in the past few attempts, but the idea...
She's dying. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, you're doing it.
I'm doing it, yeah, I just realized.
The idea here is that Aggie is using the dung pies to get the toxic status effect on Queelag and then just sort of hang about.
Yep. We could throw the poison throwing knives as well.
It doesn't look that
6
slow.
whole damage. Adef, are you pro or against the jabasted emote that is in Twitch now? The Wooly just posted in the chat.
I've never seen it until just now. Okay. And I think I am adamantly against.
Understandable.
In fact, I think I'm taking such an anti-that emote stance that I might base my whole career around it.
Understandable, okay. I just discovered it a couple days ago. It's definitely a little bit of nightmare fuel.
I hate it, but I also like it, but I can't like it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect it a little bit.
I do respect it. How does it feel to press square so much, or whatever your left-facing button is, or whatever? I just said square, and then I realized that, you know, maybe people didn't play this with a PS4 controller like I did.
Now, I am an Xbox controller boy, so we were pressing X.
How does it feel to press X?
It feels pretty good.
Good.
So what did you have for lunch today, Ada? Why don't you let us
what
know?
did I have for lunch today? Well, I had a bit of a late breakfast.
Okay.
And I made a rice bowl with fried, over easy fried eggs on top.
That sounds pretty yummy.
It was good. What about you? What did you have for lunch?
I had a turkey and provolone sandwich.
Ooh, yes. Provolone is goat tier sandwich cheese.
It definitely is.
I like sharp cheddar and Swiss, but provolone is pretty great.
I'm a provolone purist. That's pretty much all I do on my sandwiches.
I did have a sandwich after. I was still hungry, but I didn't want to like sour the fact that I made something just now when you asked me, but I did have a sandwich afterwards as well. It was turkey, salami, sharp cheddar, and mustard.
Wow.
I don't mess around in the sandwich department.
So good news, she's halfway dead. Bad news, she's only halfway dead.
Good news, she's halfway dead.
Yeah.
But bad news,
That's the bright side.
it's only halfway.
Yeah.
Gamers, this is what you do. See, this is called stalling. And this is
stalling. Who's stalling?
This is an important tactic for those of you that are perhaps budding content creators out there. Has your chat been silent for more than 10 or 15 minutes, or perhaps are you in a section that just can't be described as entertaining? This is the solution for you.
Yep.
Though I would actually,
this was part of the challenge run.
That's correct. It's in the rules.
Surviving this awkward 10-minute running around interlude here. Oh god.
I would say it's really not that awkward. I don't know.
That's fine.
I think we're chilling. Oh, no Estus flasks.
Well, what would be awkward is if I died again. That would be awkward. Thankfully, I would never do such a thing because I am a professional Dark Souls gamer.
That was quite close there with that humanity pop.
No, that's it's fine.
Okay.
It's under control.
Very convincing argument from you there.
Yeah. Really should have got those other throwing knives. You know, I just figured it wouldn't make that much of a difference.
I really don't think it's making that much of a difference. I don't think.
I mean, they
12.
did twice as much. So
yeah.
Okay, maybe it doesn't matter that much.
It would change from 0.2% to 0.4%.
True.
So, you know.
Yeah. That's almost 0.5%.
That's a great point. We're really getting down to the wire here, though. Down to the last 2 health bar chunks. And you said the toxic effect lasts for 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 whole minutes. It can completely kill every boss in the game except for 2, I believe. Out of the ones that are toxicable in the first place.
Who are the 2 that cannot be killed?
You cannot kill Gwyn in 1. He barely survives, so you need a second proc on him. And then Smo just barely doesn't die from the first one. He has like less than a sliver left.
Wow, what a coincidence.
So we're out of knives. We're just chilling. He's gonna be kicking the bucket anytime now. Gonna go ahead and wait by the gate here.
That's speed running. That's speed running right there.
That's optimal right there.
GG gamer, you did it.
Okay. Over the ridiculous hump there. We are good for a little bit, chat, I promise. Nothing of that nature for at least a while.
That's both bells, though. That's story progression.
That is both bells, yes. So that means we can go to Sen's Fortress. But first, I'm going to grab the Daughters of Chaos bonfire down here, because it is fast travelable. And we got to come back down here eventually.
I don't like this fellow.
I don't really like him either. He just goes way too slow.
So what's sort of the route for, I mean, I imagine it's pretty standard, like you would do Sen's Fortress, then in Orlando, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. So it's pretty much going to be what you would expect out of a glitchless playthrough to go through progression-wise. Nothing too surprising. We're going to put off Four Kings as long as possible because Four Kings is the absolute worst. The other Lord Souls really aren't that bad.
I'm really kind of intrigued by what Ceaseless Discharge is going to be like.
Easier than you'd maybe think. So, actually, I should kill him right now, shouldn't I? I should kill him right now. That's a great idea. Thank you, Adef.
Yeah, no problem.
Wait, I'm out of knives, though. Oh no! Why did I just think of that after I warped? I'm out of
Wait,
knives.
is Ceaseless Discharge even required?
He is to get to Bed of Chaos, the normal one.
Right.
So he's immune to fire bombs because he's a giant fire boss. So normally you would just throw 6 knives at him and then he falls off the edge because that's what he does. But I don't have 6 knives on me. And I mean, I could cheat, but we're gonna try to not cheat more than necessary. So I guess we just don't do Ceaseless Discharge right now.
All right, well then, not Ceaseless. The other one I'm really interested in is Bed of Chaos. That's another boss I'm intrigued to see.
Is
what the
also
solution is.
not as bad as you would maybe think. I need to pick up some gear for Bed of Chaos, but we'll do that later. So we could kill him with our fist. That's a solid point. Our fist is not a consumable though, and I'm a purist, so we're not going to be using our fist.
Purist uses cheating device halfway through run.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I believe this is just a large type knight, which is useless. It sure is. Okay.
You could always sell it.
Maybe. Possibly, I suppose. I don't think it goes for much.
Do I know the normal speedrun strat for Bed of Chaos? Isn't it that thing where you like clip through the floor? Or you like clip through to the last thing right away?
As far as I'm aware, no. So the normal speedrun strat for Bed of Chaos actually also uses consumables. So we're just gonna copy that.
Oh.
And technically it's sort of cheating because it is assisted by the use of a non-consumable, but we don't damage the boss with anything but consumables, so I'm counting it.
Is it breaking those little things?
It is breaking those little things, yes.
Breaking those little things. Couldn't have been more descriptive if I wanted to.
Yep. So we gotta climb out of here the slow way, since I got the safety bonfire, which obviously ended up being a good idea.
Yeah, also gamers, obviously we're jesting about the cheating, right? Because like, you know, the idea of this show, right, is that these are all showcases. You know, if you want to see a super pure, full-on set of challenge attempts, then Aggie's channel is going to be a place for that. But as far as Challenger Approaching, right, like the show's on twice or once every 2 weeks. So when we show runs, yeah, sometimes runners will fudge something here or there just to give you guys the best sort of overall experience of what the challenge run might look like on an average attempt.
Yep. In consumables only, it's a complete meme anyway. This is not a terribly competitive challenge run. I have no idea how many people have even done this, but I mean, at least one.
That's you.
So yeah. I've taken this to the next level. I've done dung pie only before. That was an experience.
Horrible. Sounds horrible. Wait, is that Twitter clip you posted of how long it took to kill Gwyn?
Yep. Yep, Gwyn takes 30 dung pies to the face to get toxic, and like I said, you have to do it twice for it to proc. Which is just all sorts of awful.
Yay!
Yay!
What's the solution? Not to spoil it, but I assume the solution is quite different in this run.
So yeah, the solution in this run, we kind of fight him the same way, but we just chuck fire bombs in his face instead of dung pies, which are slightly more effective at killing him.
Slightly?
It's really not so bad. Yeah.
So you said you will be doing some leveling at some point.
That's correct. Okay, so the Fire Maiden died. That's good. That's good. Trust me, that's good. It's not good. I forgot to kill Lotric, but you know, it'll be okay.
This is just about as scuffed as any run ever is on this show.
No, it's fine.
Aggie, we're approaching an hour in. I want to know your mindset level. How are we feeling scale of like 1 to 10?
10.
10.
I'm
Pogger
feeling
champion.
great. Yeah. I think it's gonna work out.
I know
Really,
it's gonna work out.
we get off to a slow start because Quelaag is ridiculous, but the next few set of bosses really not that bad. Iron Golem, very easy. Ornstein and Smo, surprisingly also very easy. And then we can just go, you know, wherever from there.
I feel like there's a small possibility that your use of the term "very easy" is a little bit relative, but I respect it.
Thank you. I forgot to buy stuff. That's probably important to buy
I'm
the
loving
thing.
this. I'm loving this.
Hold on. No, I should buy stuff. Wait, I have 28 dunk buys. Okay, actually we're fine. So there is luckily a black firebomb merchant right in front of Iron Golem. So that'll work out well. And then 28 dunk pies is way more than enough to get us through Ornstein and Smoke. Which we don't even really need any, but they're just kind of helpful because they proc toxic very easily. Especially Ornstein. So we're gonna use them to our advantage there. And then just black firebomb for the rest of their HP. I promise we're not gonna have to wait 10 minutes for him to die like we did with Quelaag.
He promises.
I promise. I would never lie to you, Chet.
I hope you never lie to me.
I would never lie to you, Adolf, no.
Thank you. That's the kind of reassurance that gets you back on the show.
Good, excellent. So we're just making our way through Sen's Fortress. Nothing crazy here. Just running along.
I feel like this is such an iconic area.
Oh, it definitely is.
Casually.
We're gonna squeeze in here to get the physical resistance ring, just so that I don't die, because I don't know if I'm exactly on my A game today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, you said you wouldn't, so
Exactly. So
this
you know,
is
just
good
in
that
case. I mean,
continuing
what's a little
that
extra
trend.
defense gonna hurt? I feel like some people trash on my boy Ring of Steel Resistance or whatever it's called, but it's pretty good. It reduces damage a decent bit. It gives you, I believe, 50 physical defense, which we only have 128 total while wearing the ring, so that's definitely a decent bump.
Are you
That's all
gonna
I
buy
see.
or find or upgrade any armor?
So we are going to get some armor, yes. Which is part of the reason why I was supposed to do Ceaseless Discharge after Quelaag. Because a very OP armor set is in the Ceaseless Discharge arena.
Yes.
But we'll get that after Ornstein and Smoke, because then we'll unlock the ability to fast travel. And then we can just go right back down to Daughter of Chaos. So we're not going to be put out too badly. I'm going to quit out here, because this looks like a bad time.
Who is this guy, Lil Aggie? What does he do? Well, he is a speed runner and a challenge runner and a content creator.
Content creator. That would be the word to use, yeah. I mean, I speedrun mostly Sekiro. I have done a little bit of Dark Souls speedrunning. I'm not very good at it. I do plenty of Dark Souls 1 challenge runs, though. This guy needs to get out of my freaking way. I could just kick him, but that's not a consumable, you know? You feel me on that?
I do feel
Okay,
you.
there we go. That guy's a bit of a jerk. Almost used some other choice words there, but then I remember that I probably should not do that.
I don't know if people... never mind. I was about to make the joke that I have the authority to ban people, but that's not true. And I probably shouldn't spread that misinformation.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna grab
But
another soul.
I wanted to entertain the idea that I could just ban you for saying one bad word.
Yeah, just cut the stream right there. Out of here.
That's it for Challenger Approaching and Martin Baseball tonight. And better luck next time.
So we grabbed a safety bonfire there just in case I somehow managed to blow it yet again. Which, of course, will never happen, but, you know,
No.
just in case.
So you
And
cannot kick him or anything, but is it possible with just firebombs to throw him off the edge?
That is exactly correct. That will what we're going to be doing. We're going to firebomb him and his little toesies, and then he's going to take a little tumble.
It's a very cute way of saying you're going to murder him.
Yeah. Okay, so 43 isn't a lot there, so we're going to use the Soul of Quelaag to get more. 43 is plenty for Iron Golem, but I'm a little concerned about Quarantine and Snow afterward. Because I want some extras there, because I'm definitely going to miss some shots. That's a little better, okay. So now we're loaded on black firebombs. Never have to worry about them ever again. And I also have some regular firebombs if we really get desperate, but probably not gonna need them. If anyone's wondering if I'm ever actually gonna level up my character, the answer is yes, but not until after Ornstein and Smell. Because the cash economy here is a little tight to buy the stuff we need until we start hitting the higher soul bosses. Get out of the way, Bob. This guy's name is Bob, by the way. Okay, thank you, Bob. He's notorious among the Dark Souls speedrun community, Mr. Bob. He is well known for his shenanigans of blocking that door. So Iron Golem here, bit of a gimmick boss. You can hit him in his feet, and once you do enough damage to his feet, he will get staggered. And if he is staggered in the right angle, then you can knock him over, and he's just gonna fall off the edge and die. Which, it should be one more bomb to stagger him, if I was counting correctly. It's a big if. So we're gonna wait until he's at an angle that I like. That's okay. Almost staggered him in the wrong area there. Come here. That's a pretty good angle. We'll see. If this doesn't work, we can always knock him over again. It didn't work. Okay. We're just gonna quit out, restart it. What's the easiest way to do it?
Pesky guy.
Yeah, so when he staggers, he does like a quarter turn. So you gotta be a little careful with the angle that he's initially staggered at. So it takes 6 bombs to get him to start wiggling. There was 3. 4. 5. All right, let's be a little more cooperative this time, buddy. Now that is an angle that I'm like 90% sure will work. Okay, it looked a little weird, but he did die. Excellent.
There he
I'm
goes.
gonna wait for this bomb. It's because I'm a little scared. Okay. So now we got 40k souls in the bank. I think I literally just said that I'm gonna wait till after Ornstein and Smo to level, but we're actually gonna level before Ornstein and Smo, because that's what I meant to say.
Oh my god, he lied!
I lied. I just said that I wasn't gonna lie to you guys, and what do you know? I lied to you guys.
Unreal. I don't know if I'm gonna get over this, to be honest.
I don't know if I'm gonna get over this either. So we're gonna grab the old Anne Orlando bonfire. So this one should give me 10 Estus. It does. Excellent. And then I'm just gonna dump it all into that. Okay, seems good. And that's a much better health bar. That'll do us good.
That is a little better.
We just pretty much doubled our health. Quite nice.
I think, yeah.
So
Also,
30
how do
vitality
you-
is about what we're gonna max out at here.
Are you going to
I'm
level up
thinking.
any other stats?
I may pick up some more endurance. It doesn't really matter. Well, we'll see. The only thing endurance is good for is for Gwyn. So we're gonna do a parry loop on him, which sometimes he'll use an alternative attack, and if we don't have enough endurance, it'll just break our guard, which sucks. So we just want enough endurance to withstand that, and then we'll be good. Which I think technically we already have enough to withstand that. Oh god. But it just depends. We'll figure it out. I'm an expert.
He's an expert. And
Yeah.
we know he's telling the truth because, you know, as we've covered,
I would never lie.
as we've covered at great length, he's actually infallible. He doesn't lie.
Exactly. So we're just making our way through Outer London. Same old, same old. Nothing special about this. Just gotta go round and round and round and round and round. Pull the lever. Go up the stairs. Try not to die to the archers on the thing. And then we'll be good.
How do you feel about our first break after ONS?
I think that would be an excellent time for a break.
Excellent. And I think, yeah, unfortunately, just due to the Queelag mishap, we will we'll stick to the intended route, as it were.
Yeah. That was a bit of a time waster, wasn't it?
It
Maybe
happens.
not my finest moment. I just got shot in the back. Okay, well, that could have gone worse. So this part sucks. Anyone that's played Dark Souls knows this part sucks.
This part does suck.
It sucks even more when you don't have any weapons or shields. What we're gonna do is we're pretty much just gonna hope that this guy's a complete idiot and runs off for us. Alright, great news. He's a complete idiot and ran off for us. Now we're good.
King. And I assume that the jump over the stairs is allowed.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. That's no glitch.
Is that intended?
I feel like no, but I mean...
I also feel like no. But it's obviously not a
convenient.
glitch.
Yeah. It's inbounds. It's just clever.
Yeah.
Well, here's the jump he's talking about. That leads to Ornstein and Smo. Normally, to get to that path, you have to go through a really long pathway, or you can just do that. A little faster. And now we're moving on to our big buds. Okay, so that is to invade Lotric if I wanted to get the Firekeeper back. I probably do want to do that. But we'll fight Ornstein and Smo first. Okay, so the plan here is Ornstein first, Smo second. That's a pretty bog standard strategy for this guy. Ornstein is a elusive man, so we are going to poison him as fast as possible, which luckily only takes, I believe, 4 dung pies if we get them in quick succession.
That's markedly less than Queelag.
Yeah, just a little less. Yeah, he is toxic. It's excellent. And now we're just gonna throw black fire bombs at him as best we can. He is a slippery little devil, though, so this might serve some challenge, especially since, you know, locking on and throwing basically doesn't work. So we gotta freehand it. But yeah, overall, not too bad a fight. That's fine. That's fine. See, this is why you get the health right before Orange. Didn't it smell? I would have died like 3 times already. Oh, wow, that really got me. Oh, kind of blood. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Exactly, chat. It's fine.
Everything's going as it is supposed to.
Yeah.
Every time.
Thank you so much for asking me to showcase Dark Souls on your show, Ada.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were being sarcastic. Yeah, no, I genuinely wanted to have Dark Souls on for a while now.
You got the best man for the job, let me tell you.
It seems that way. No, genuinely, I asked Aggie, you know, what he would be interested in doing if he just had free reign, and this is one of the ideas he posed, and I really liked it.
Yep.
It's just the kind of bread and butter insanity that we love here at Challenger Approaching.
You know, I figured it would be neat to do something that wasn't a randomizer, because, like, there's a whole show for randomizer, right?
Yes, random number generation.
Yeah. We gotta get a little wacky with it, you know?
We do gotta get a little wacky with it. And this,
you can see why we poisoned
little free damage here on Smout, here and there is not bad.
I mean, he gets healed for the second phase, but yeah, sure. That we could say that it doesn't matter.
Emotionally, it feels good.
That it does. Okay. And there goes the little guy. It's just us and Big Tubba, who takes 7 things to be toxic. Honestly, I don't even know if it's worth it on him, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's not good. Okay. These are all legally purchased goods we're using here. I do not believe in duping for this challenge. It's way more fun if you have to actually worry about your soul economy.
Nor cheating. This guy does not cheat.
I would never cheat. Cheating is against my moral code.
I think that's fair.
Except for when it's necessary. And you know.
That sounds like an interesting qualifier.
I mean, some might say that, yeah. This guy just loves this hammer attack, and I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of it, personally.
Really?
I think it's maybe a bit of a cheap move. That's my take on the situation.
That's definitely a take.
This guy needs to go ahead and get poisoned. I could have done a million firebombs by this point. This is definitely not worth my time. I was only supposed to take 7. Okay, there we go, finally. I'm gonna get like 2 firebombs worth of damage out of that. Great stuff.
I didn't see any cheating. I've only seen Aggie in the game up on the screen the whole time. That's true.
Yeah. See, sometimes there's this well-documented glitch where you just randomly get given more consumables if you run out of them in the middle of a challenge run.
And yeah, and you say, I'm gonna do something right before.
Right, right. Really quite unfortunate. It's an unavoidable thing, though, so we don't count it as a glitch or cheating.
Yeah, because sometimes glitches just happen.
Yeah. You know, it's like the saying there's no such thing as a glitchless Fallout speedrun, right? Because it's just literally impossible.
People say the same thing about Pokemon Red and Blue.
I bet they do.
Because, like, there are literally glitches in every fight, pretty much.
So a little quirk of this game's AI in terms of the bosses is that when you use items, they tend to do certain moves. And I believe the move that Smo likes to use when you use an item is that shovel move that I hate. That one right there. So that's really quite unfortunate for me. But, you know, I think we're gonna win.
And as we know, he would never lie.
Ever. Ever, ever, ever. All right, right in his stupid face, and there we go.
Pog.
Wham, bam, thank you, man.
Whenever you are ready to take the break, give a countdown and pause the timer. It's up to you.
Sure, let's go ahead and grab the Lord Vessel from Gwendolyn, and then the break sounds perfect.
Excellent.
We just gotta go through the big door to see the big lady real quick. Who gives us the Lord Vessel, which is required to beat the game 1, and 2 gives us the ability to fast travel, which is very important when you need to constantly go back to buy more materials. But of course, talking to her is slow, so we're just gonna throw this in her face. And there she goes. Okay, thanks, Gwendolyn. And all right, there is the Lord Vessel. If you'd like to take a break, I am good.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. There you go. All right, gamers, we'll be right back with more Challenger approaching, more Games Done Quick hotfix, more Lil Aggie, and Dark Souls in just a second. Don't go anywhere. We're just doing this. It's a little wellness break. Get up, stretch your legs, get some water. We will literally be right back in just a few minutes, so do not go away. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick hotfix. My name is Adef, and this is Challenger Approaching, the show about challenge runs and the runners that perform them. This is Lil Aggie showing off Dark Souls Remastered Consumables Only Challenge. Just a few quick announcements before we get back into that. Tune in Monday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern for No Category Left Behind as we cover a collection of category extensions in Kingdom Hearts games, followed by the Community Spotlight with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze all stages. And if you missed out on any GDQ Hotfix shows, check out our archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. Aggie, whenever you're ready, give a countdown and take it away.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're back. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, so we killed our girl Gwendolyn. Now we can have fast travel freely, which is wonderful. And first thing we're gonna do is go back to Firelink Shrine. And then we're off to do some shopping. We
Would
gotta
you mind
restock.
also re-explaining what's going on? What are the restrictions? What's happening?
Sure. So we're doing a consumables only run. That means that we can only use the throwable items from our inventory. No weapons, no spells, no bows, anything like that. We've got our black fire bombs, we've got our dung pies, we've got throwing knives that I don't have any of right now, but we do have them in theory. And that's it. We're progressing through glitchless, so we are not going to skip to, you know, anywhere unless we really have to, but we're gonna try not to. And yeah, so far it's been a flawless run, I would say. Absolutely 0 mistakes, so this is really a performance to remember. And yeah, that's about all you really need to know. We're gonna buy, let's just get like 20. That's probably good. 20 throwing knives. That should cover the rest of the use for those guys. Then we're gonna go back to our dear lady, the poop seller. Pick up some more of those. And yeah. And then we are gonna have to pick up some more black fire bombs as well. Because where am I going? Down here. Yeah, we only have 23. That's probably not going to be enough to really accomplish a whole heck of a lot. That one's a little annoying, a little out of the way because we got to go back to Sun's Fortress, but we sure can get there. We've got 50,000 souls in our back pocket, thank God. Let's see here. I don't want to buy too many. We have 9, so let's go with like 40 more. Okay. And you know, let's get some poison knives as well, because those are kind of important. Go with 40 of those as well. That seems good. Give me like 3 of those. And okay, we're probably good. This run does not use the dupe glitch because I find it to be a little cheesy, considering the whole point of the run is to have to gather consumables and use them. It would be kind of silly to just get 1 billion souls and then max level and then just infinitely spawn, you know, a bunch of different consumables. That's lame to me, so we're not doing that. The only glitch that I'll perform if I absolutely have to is the wrong warp to Gwyn, and we're gonna desperately try to avoid that. Okay. So that bonfire's dead because I forgot to kill Lotric. I'll probably go back and take care of him at some point, but for now, we're just gonna go to Undead Parish. We'll make that our base of operations. So yeah, we have the 4 Lord Souls to get. That would be 4 Kings, Nito, Seath, and Bed of Chaos. We are going to kill Sith first, because he's in this general direction, and he's pretty darn easy. And then we're gonna go down to the fireplace again, take care of Ceaseless finally, and then go from there to Bed of Chaos. Which I just remembered I forgot to buy a bow for. I was just at the shop. I don't happen to magically have one, do I? No. That's rough, buddy. Okay. Well, we'll worry about that in a little bit.
What happened? I missed it.
It's consumables only, but we're gonna use a bow to do a little bit of aiming for Bed of Chaos. Which, of course, I forgot to buy one because, you know, I'm perfect and never make any mistakes ever. But, you know, I don't have to worry about that right now. So we're just going to not worry about it right now.
Sure. And how is Martin Baseball feeling right now?
Martin Baseball is doing pretty good, I would say. He's running a marathon. We're on our way to our boy Sith. We're going to make a pit stop and pick up the Grass Crest shield because it's the Grass Crest shield. It's kind of good. It's not a weapon. We're not going to attack with it. So it's fine. Don't question it. Okay, just let me have this. And then we'll be on our way.
I think it's fine because, like, consumables only means specifically, like, attacking only with consumables, right?
Exactly.
And, like, you know, that's why you can use the bow to aim in Bed of Chaos, because you're not shooting anything.
Exactly.
I think that's actually genuinely, like, no bit, I don't think this is against the spirit of the challenge at all.
And what if I told you that we used it to parry some stuff? How does your feelings change?
I am less on board, but not completely off board, because a parry's not really an attack.
It's real. I mean, yeah, we're not going to riposte. We're just going to parry. It's fine. Also, that doesn't come into play for a while. So, okay. Don't even worry about it.
I'm not worrying about it.
Good.
This is me
Excellent.
actively not worrying about it.
Fantastic. So that was definitely a bit of a detour to get that shield, but you know, it's worth it. For those that don't know, the Grass Crest shield makes you regen stamina significantly quicker, which is very, very nice for spamming rolls and attacks. Just getting around the world in general. And as I said, we're gonna have to pull off some parries at some point. So we do like to have a shield for that. This is the shield we choose, because why not? Oops. I gotta quit out on this bonfire because the trees are chasing me and disable it from a mile away. Right, okay. I just remembered that we didn't pick up more black fire bombs, but I think 23 is actually enough for Sif. So we can get away with it this time. Cutting it a little close, though. Why do I have to parry? Okay, so just to address chat. I don't technically have to parry, but it makes it significantly easier to parry on the final boss Gwyn. So that's what we're going to do. Everything else, no parries required, but yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair, too.
This area is one of my faves, I think.
I like it conceptually, and then I get lost in the forest every time, and I hate it.
Okay, I think that's a very fair review. It's not like in my top 3 or anything, but I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Okay, that's fair. It is very pretty.
And the boss obviously is very memorable.
Yeah.
Is consumables only? All bosses are any percent? This particular one will be any percent.
Yep. Okay, good old Sif the doggy. What was that? That was weird. So Sif, we're just gonna pelt with fire bombs. She is toxicable, but it's just not really worth it. So we're just gonna do this. She's a pretty stupid dog. Doesn't really put up a whole hell of a lot of fight. Just kind of stand under her and shuck it at her. I knew she was gonna do something dumb like that as soon as I said she didn't put up a fight. What's your favorite boss in Dark Souls, Ada?
The whole series?
Just this one.
Okay, good, because I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
Granted, I've only played all 3 games once, and that was all in the last year. But
Okay.
I'm gonna think about this for a second. I really like Sif conceptually, and the lore behind her as well.
I personally hate Sif, is where I was going with this. She's
Really?
a dumb dog, and I don't like her. I mean,
Wow.
cute dog. I get why she's a fan favorite, but man, do I hate this fight. That just went straight through her. Did you see that? That was
did.
pretty stupid. I'm gonna run out here. I have the backup fire bombs. I think we might have to toxic her a little bit though, just to do a teeny tiny bit of damage. Let's see, will 12 get this done? No, I don't think so. It'll be dang close though.
Okay, I'm gonna go... I like Bell Gargoyles a lot. I think it's a really iconic fight.
Okay. Interesting choice.
But I think my fave... I don't know. Dark Souls 1 doesn't really have any of my favorite bosses. Crossbreed Priscilla is my favorite area in the game, but I don't know if that's my favorite boss.
It's also an interesting choice.
It's
That
pretty
area
easy.
is pain.
I
I think we're actually going to get away with this.
I'm a complete pushover for snow areas.
Alright, well, in my infinite wisdom, I realized that we had exactly enough fire bombs to kill that guy. So, good stuff.
Infinite wisdom.
Great job, team. Okay. That takes care of that. That gets us the Abyss Ring for Four Kings much later. Gonna put them off for now because they are total nightmares. And now we're doing some backtracking from the Anne Orlando bonfire because it just happens to be the closest one to the Blackfire bomb shop. Bit of a jog, not super bad. Should be okay.
Oh, wait, yeah, okay. Artorias is my favorite boss, for sure.
Okay. Classic choice.
That was, now that I recall the actual fights themselves, I feel like none of the fights were as fun to perform as that one.
He's a pretty cool guy. I am personally more of a Calamite kind of guy. I like the big dragons. They're neat.
I can respect that.
Bob?
I can definitely respect that.
Bob. Okay, Bob, you want to do it this way? Fine. Bob. Thank you.
Just so long as we both agree that Nito is overrated, then I think we're okay.
Nito's overrated. Yeah, that's a pretty annoying fight. I'm okay with throwing him under the bus.
I don't like that fight.
I don't care for him that much either.
A lot of love for Nito in the chat, though.
You know who else I don't like is Manus.
I also did not like Manus.
That guy, like, was supposed to go in Dark Souls 3 or something and somehow ended up in this game, and this game's so much slower, and he just doesn't fit in. I don't like that guy.
I would also like to restate that I've only played the game once, so
Fair.
I'm not like the most opinionated or knowledgeable. My opinion is based pretty solely on my one time fighting the boss.
Some bosses are total nightmares casually, and then they're actually kind of fun once you get
That
to
makes
know 'em.
sense. I feel like my perception of Manus is slightly colored by the fact that I hated the area that preceded him.
Yep. It's nightmare.
The wispy ghost things. I'm like, just show me where to go, please.
Yep. Alright, so Cecil's Discharge, which we should have killed a while ago because he's literally free, but we're gonna kill him now. So there's a little bit of a cheese with this guy that everyone on the planet is aware of, but we're gonna go over to the altar, take his sister's clothes, which is gonna aggro him, and then we're gonna run back to the start, and he is going to take a little bit of a tumble and just die for us. Which, thank God that is a thing, because otherwise this fight would be the literal worst, because he's immune to fire bombs, and throwing knives do 12 damage.
Nice.
Yeah.
I fought this boss the intended way, my playthrough,
Oh, no.
and I found it so memorable. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know there was a cheese.
I think long ago, I fought him the intended way. Like back in 2011 on the original release. But since then, nope. I had a bad time then.
I don't know, I really love the idea of fighting something that's like hundreds of times your size in any way.
He's cool conceptually. So yeah, he's chasing us right now. If we get all the way back to the fog gate, he's gonna do a big old leap. And he's gonna get his hand on the ledge here. And just a few throwing knives, and he will fall. There he goes.
I've never seen this before.
It's very convenient.
I assume that's also intended.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, we're gonna warp out of here back to the bonfire. Like I said, I forgot to get a bow for Bed of Chaos, so I'm gonna do that real quick. And I'm gonna also pick up some more throwing knives because I forgot they're actually useful for the next boss. You can tell I've really grind the consumables only category. I just have the whole thing committed to memory.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Obviously, no.
I can't imagine any level of knowledge higher than this.
Me either.
All right, so we're a little further in now. I'm curious what your feeling is now, scale 1 to 10. How you feel?
10.
Still 10. Man, this is
gotta be 10. Yeah.
Unshakable gamer.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've been in worse situations before. I can handle it.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Let's just max out throwing knives because they're super cheap anyway. Okay, give me the bow. Thank you. Give me one wooden arrow just because I don't remember if I need one to aim the bow. I don't think I do, but better safe than sorry. And get me out of here.
Gamers, I'll remind you that it's always a good time to click the link in the chat room that I'm about to post for you and follow Lil Aggie on twitch.tv.
Yeah. We'd love to have you. You can watch me maybe do better runs on this.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I have a personal self theory that I ascribe to when it comes to my challenge runs in Dark Souls. So this is more or less my career, right? Is to play Dark Souls and Sekiro and other games in stupid, wacky ways, right?
Sure.
And my own self theory is that I intentionally don't get that good at them because it makes for better content if I just don't steamroll through everything.
And then you can have the clutch moments still.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
I kind of agree, actually.
That guy almost hit us. So next up here, their boy Fire Sage Demon, who is definitely not a recycled boss, totally unique. And
There
Fire Sage Demon.
There aren't 3 of him.
Yeah, no, that would be lazy. That would be very lazy. FromSoft would never do that.
God no.
But yeah, as the name implies, because he's a Sage of Fire, that means he is immune to fire bombs, which means our main source of damage is useless. So, that means it's more pooping time.
Let's go. I
Luckily,
really struggled with this area.
He's pretty weak to the dung pie and the poison knives.
Oh, nice.
So he will not take anywhere near as long. I forgot to put the Lord Vessel in the thing. I hate myself. Okay. Do you see why this maybe took 3.5 hours? Yeah.
I do. Somebody in the chat is claiming that automod is the worst man-made thing. I think that's a pretty incredible statement. I can think of about 100 worse things humans have made.
I don't know. I mean, it's got to crack the top 50, right? Sure.
I don't know that it cracks the top 8 billion. I think people are worse.
Wow. I mean, are people man-made? There's a question for you.
There's a question that we are not going to be tackling tonight on Challenger Approaching.
That's fair. That's fair.
We're not going to get into the study of theology this evening. Yeah, I really, really struggled with this area after Ceaseless Discharge, but before the Fire Demon. Like, I really, really, really wanted those items in the back behind all the...
That's fair. Oh, with the like the worm dudes?
Yeah, the worm dudes, and then also behind all this lava with the Taurus demons.
Oh yeah, that's also not very fun.
And I just died a lot of times to those and the Capra demons. I don't know, I really struggle.
It's not the best place in the game.
No. Also, yeah, Railcoon has a good point. What I meant more specifically was like people make people. But yes, there is a further discussion to potentially be had. In fact, it might be the oldest discussion.
Yeah, true.
Besides like, hey, where are we gonna get food tonight? I think that's a pretty big one.
You see, chat, and it's conversations like that would be the reason why I choose to, you know, pretend to forget stuff so that we can continue having great conversations and also like die like that, like accidentally die like that, so that we can just have, you know, these little talks with Ada. It is insight into the world.
Yes, and you know, now we're gonna go to one of my favorite segments in Challenger Approaching. And it's definitely a segment, and it definitely happens every show, for sure, 100%. You don't have to check the VODs to see that it happens, because it just does. This is the questions and answers segment. In this segment, you can post questions in the chat room, and I will field them and weed out the bad ones, and and just give the good ones to Lil Aggie. So if you have any questions for Lil Aggie, they could be about speedrunning, they could be about Dark Souls, they could be about, what are those posters on the wall? You know, let's really dig deep here.
I love answering questions.
Well, I'll get the ball rolling here. Where does Lil Aggie come from?
Where does the name come from? So it is a moniker that is passed down through the generations of my family because it is based off my last name. That starts with Ag.
Okay.
You know, I'm the youngest male member of my direct family line, which makes me the little Aggie.
I think that is just about as wholesome and genuine an answer as most people really ever give for their username.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of these questions are a little too much.
No such thing.
We already know Aggie's favorite cheese for a sandwich is provolone. Mm-hmm. We're not going to make him answer his shoe size. What kind of cheese makes a perfect grilled cheese? Now there's a question.
I think I just normally go plain old American, honestly.
Really? I mean, I respect that. I respect that. That's definitely a classic.
I kind of want these souls. Okay, thank you. You know, I really went the most awkward way possible here, and I died again. And now I gotta get the souls again.
Oh my god, there's another partnered Aggie in the chat.
Yo, is it not little Aggie?
Yeah, it's just Aggie.
It's my mom. Hello, mother. It's not actually my mother.
Okay, I was about to say, I'd be shocked if your mom was partnered on Twitch.
Wouldn't that be incredible? That would be something, though.
And held that username from you.
Yeah, Aggie's a cool lass.
Do you think Smaug ate Nito to become Aldrich?
No.
That was easy.
Yeah. No further explanation, because I don't have one.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm just going to say no.
As a non-United States citizen, what is American cheese? American cheese is like if you took all the good parts of cheese and took them away, and then you were like, it's cheese, right? And then everyone was like, but it's not made from cheese. And they're like, well, yeah, but it's kind of technically cheese. That's American cheese. American cheese is what your parents tell you cheese is until you grow up and find out that actually there's a lot more good cheese to be had.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I answered that one. I'm very passionate about American cheese.
Oh, that's okay. I fully understand.
It belongs on burgers and grilled cheese, and that's it.
Yep.
How do you pronounce Smough?
That would be Smo. Anyone that says anything besides that is a psychopath.
So this is going well.
This is going really well. Like, really, really well, I would have to say. Okay, I lost the souls. There goes 24k. That's a minor setback, is what I would call that. It doesn't matter that much, but it matters a little.
Favorite video game original soundtrack?
Ooh, okay. Either Ocarina of Time or Fallout 3.
Two very different soundtracks.
Very different, yeah. I mean, does the Fallout soundtrack count as an original soundtrack? Because it's not really like from the game itself. It's just kind of an amalgamation of old stuff.
Well, there are original songs, both on the like Pep Boy radio and just like orchestral stuff.
Okay,
But-
orchestral stuff, yes. On the
Well,
radio,
okay,
I don't know if that's true.
Is it all old music?
I think so.
Well,
I'm
I
not an
think
old
it
music
counts.
expert. I wouldn't consider myself a music expert of any kind, really.
I'm glad we got that covered.
Okay, good.
And I'm not a cheese expert of any kind. That much
Thank you for
you should
clarifying.
know. That much you should know. Have
All right, so I'm
my
going to show you how
family
you're
farmed.
actually supposed
Yes,
to go
wait.
around this now. Go
Okay,
down
let's
here,
see.
like a normal person, that if get stuck in a loop of trying to get your souls back and die to the thousands of dudes every time.
Most
Really glad
disliked
that we
color.
wasted 5 minutes doing that.
That's all good. What's the color you dislike the most?
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go yellow among the like common colors. I
I'm
don't
gonna go
hate
like
yellow, but it's the one I dislike
neon
the
green,
most.
but like specifically neon green.
I think that's fair.
Dark greens are nice. Light greens, kind of not nice. Okay, so Fire Sage Demon. Pretty good time. He's spamming the AoE spells that are really annoying. We're gonna hit him in the butt, and he's gonna get toxic relatively quickly. That was an attack. Okay, this guy, I've never seen him actually pose any sort of threat ever. And of course, today he shows up. He is already toxic though, as you may have seen.
This
Now we're gonna
song
poison
does
him.
pop off though.
It's a classic. Dude, what is his range? Oh my god. Oh my god. I've never seen him be that aggro in my entire life. I'm not even making up excuses for that one. That was just miserable.
How you feeling after that? Still 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10. Hi.
You love to hear it.
Maybe
has
the run of my career, to be honest.
The run of your career, gamers, you should feel blessed in this moment to be watching the run of Aggie's career.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
What game systems did both of us grow up on? Aggie, you want to take this first?
Yeah, so I believe that the first system of any kind I had was a Game Boy Color.
Same.
First console I had would be a GameCube. And yeah, those would be the main two of my childhood. That and Game Boy Advance. And Wii in later
The
years.
first thing I ever played was Game Boy Color. Same as Aggie. And then a lot of Game Boy Advance. And the first console I played was definitely N64. But that's just because I had a brother who was much older than me.
Okay. What's your favorite childhood game, Ada?
My favorite childhood game is my favorite game. Period.
Ooh, okay. That makes it
Thousand Year
easy.
Door.
Okay, that's a pretty great choice.
That game slaps hard.
It does. It's the only Paper Mario. Well, actually, no. That guy's gonna hit me again. I need to really learn to respect this man. He usually just stands there. Like, I swear I'm not lying to you, chat. He usually just kind of stands there. I'm really not used to him actually doing anything. We'll get him this time. It's 100% in the bag. Already got the first poison. That should be the second poison there, I think. Hit him with one more to be sure. Yeah, that looks correct. But okay, like I said, he's immune to firebomb, so 11 damage time.
What is your favorite childhood game, Aggie?
That's a great question.
Well, it's your question, so it is great.
Yeah. I probably should have prepared an answer when I asked you. There's so many.
I know, right? I'm just lucky that the game I liked the most as a kid is still the game I like the most.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
also
have to give
hard,
it to
though.
Mario Sunshine.
Oh, such a good game.
It's kind of terrible, but it's also great.
See, I have never agreed with all these people that really hate it. But at the same time, I don't like Mario 64, so I understand not liking a game that's like universally revered.
I think Mario 64 is better in your memory. Than,
Nah, that game's just
than when
trash.
you go play it.
That game's
It's
bad.
pretty rough. It is
It's
pretty
a bad
rough.
game. For the time, no doubt, revolutionary. And the speedrun is undeniably amazing.
Yep.
Like, excellent speed game. But casually, that's a poopy game now.
It's a little poopy. He got us. Dang it, Fire Sage. What are you doing? I'm trying to think if this is the last boss that is like this. I don't think it is. I think we got Centipede Demon after this, who, of course, is also immune to fire bombs. And then we're done with these just marathon poison things.
What's the first game you tried to speedrun, and how did that happen?
The first game I ever tried to speedrun was Luigi's Mansion, OG.
Ooh.
It happened because I had been watching speedruns for a little bit at that point on Twitch, and I had had my tonsils removed, and I was stuck in my mom's house for a week with a GameCube and nothing else to do. So we learned to speedrun Luigi's Mansion.
Nice.
Yep. Then we kind of got the itch from there, started speedrunning Mario Odyssey when that came out. He's gonna kill me! Are you kidding me? Chat, I've never struggled so much on anything in my life. Oh my god. This was
This
a
run
mistake.
is amazing.
This, is it? Okay, you know, we're gonna do something I like to call not cheating, okay?
Okay.
Hear me out here, hear me out. Just gonna speed up the process here.
So this is a well-known glitch actually that's happening here. This is the Aggie technique. You hold left for 4 frames, then you hold right for 4 frames, and then you scream. And you're able to do this. It's actually pretty impressive.
Okay, I bit off a little more than I can chew there.
Oh my god.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We slowed him down a little bit. It was gonna be fine. Dude, this is much more manageable.
You know, we've had a lot of really cursed runs on this show. This takes the cake by miles.
You know, that's a moniker that I will accept with pride. So let me apply my poisons here, and then we'll utilize my patented technique there to speed this up again. That's gonna be great.
That's going in the highlight reel.
Yep.
For sure.
So, okay, that should be both poisons applied, and now we're just gonna... Oh, wait, this is only my speed, not the game speed. Uh-oh. Well, maybe we are waiting here.
Do you really want to try to dodge this guy at super speed?
You know, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. It won't take that long if I don't die again.
And how are we feeling now on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
Let's go.
Definitely 10.
Let's go.
Never more confident in anything in my life.
I suppose
I told you that I would never lie to you earlier in this run, right?
That's true.
I'm gonna tell you something that is absolutely true, and I'm just curious if you'll believe me, okay?
You know, it's interesting. People don't often preface something that's true with, this is definitely true. So,
okay, I swear it's true. It's just so unbelievable that I feel like it needs to be prefaced.
Okay.
Okay, earlier today, in preparation of this magical event,
yes,
I went ahead and went through the run and fought all of the bosses back to back, just warping from boss to boss to make sure that I knew what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
Would you believe me if I told you that I did not die a single time during that process?
I would believe you because you're putting on a show now, and you've died intentionally all these times.
Yeah, intentionally. Uh-huh.
That is kind of how these things happen, though.
I don't know if I believe it myself, honestly. I don't know what changed from then to now. I guess I drank coffee. Maybe that's it. Got the jitters.
I entered the commentary booth. That's what changed.
Yeah. It's been a time, though.
It has. I've been having a great time.
I'm having a great time, too.
So what the bosses that are left are the Centipede Lad and Bed of Chaos and Four Kings.
And Seath and Pinwheel and Nito and Gwyn.
Right.
I promise you that most of those will go quickly. This guy is a slog. Centipede Demon right after him, also a slog. After that, we're gonna fly until we get to Four Kings, and then I'm gonna cry.
You keep talking about Four Kings like it's the end of the world.
It's because it is.
What is the strat? Should I spoil it?
So, I don't know if you would exactly say there's a strat for Four Kings. It's more like pray that you don't die.
Is it also just fire bombs?
It is just fire bombs, yeah. They are immune to toxic. They're immune to poison. Throwing knives do 12 damage. So it's just fire bombs. I think we need to reapply the poison. We still got the poop poison going, but this poison's worn off, I think. So he's more than halfway dead.
That's good.
It is good. How many
hope
firebombs did
everybody-
4 kings take? A lot. Not 99, so it's possible. But it is a lot.
I hope people enjoyed the Q&A segment
Yes.
while it existed. Yeah, like I said, it's a segment every time.
Great segment. Really, I mean, we could continue it. I mean, this guy's...
I
living.
did never answer the speedrunning question.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about you.
Well, I like long walks on the beach,
Okay.
and the first, I think I technically, not really, it was an RTA, but in like 2009, I was curious how fast I could beat Wind Waker, but I had no idea about speedrunning at the time.
Okay.
So I don't know that that really counts, because it was not one sitting, but I did try to play fast. But my first proper speedrun was Mega Man 1, which I started playing in 2012. And I learned it just because I really liked it, and I kept playing it, and I was like, how fast can it be played? And that's how it starts. I started Googling, and people had posted glitch videos. I was like, what the heck? And the rest is history.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
This guy is tanky. Holy cow. I don't remember him taking this long. He's almost passed on now. Thank God Toxic lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
don't
that
know why.
otherwise this would be
Yeah.
really something
This
else.
would be an even worse of time.
So we've checked in with Aggie on how he's feeling several times, and we've learned scale of 1 to 10. Aggie's constant 10. So I do need to find out, how's the chat doing? What is our? I'm gonna say I'm a 10 for sure.
Good.
I'm having a great time. Am I slightly concerned about the amount of time remaining? Yes.
No,
But
no,
that
no,
doesn't
no, no, no,
that doesn't mean it's not a 10.
No, 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 no. Maybe an hour and a half. Could you imagine if I died right there?
I'd be I think I'd be a little upset.
I think it'd be kind of great, honestly. Maybe we should just let him. Oh, he's gone. Alright, well, that's that guy. That was a time.
We got some 12s, some 11s, some 6.9s, of course.
Excellent.
It's not bad.
Excellent.
Overall, I think everybody's doing pretty good. I also saw people talking about a centipede glitch. What is that?
That would be a glitch that I don't know how to do, but that would be pretty useful to speed this up if we were using glitches this run. But basically, it has something to do with the fog gate, and he just like dies immediately. And I don't even know how it really happens, to be honest. He just kind of dies.
And that was Dark Souls expert Lil Aggie on
That's right.
the centipede glitch.
You're
and
welcome.
We go now to the weather.
You are welcome. Always happy to share my knowledge with the world.
Of course. Let's hear some knowledge of the world, Aggie. What is your, outside of speedrunning, what's your thing? What do you do? What's your hobby?
This is pretty much all I do, really. I do speedruns and challenge runs, and I put them on YouTube, and I stream them on Twitch, and that takes all of my existing time. I also married, so that would take up the other part of the time, just hanging out with the old wifey.
I thought you
Have
said
two
I
cats.
also marry, as in like present tense.
No.
Like a
I
pastor?
am married. No.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool, though. Do you think I would make a good wedding officiant?
I think it doesn't take very much, but
Wow.
let me rephrase. Yes, Aggie, I think you'd be a great wedding officiant.
Thank you. You know what I just realized that is just so funny? Only I would forget to do it. Is, you know how I mentioned that Ceaseless Discharge has really good armor as an arena?
You did pick it up.
I never put it on though, did I?
No.
That's pretty silly, I mean. But we have it on now.
I think a great wedding officiant would probably just let the thing talk for itself and just be sweet and nice and read social cues. I think that's probably the extent of what it should be required.
Yeah, that's fair. Have some poo, Centipede Demon. Have some poo.
I did not like this boss.
I do not like this boss either.
I found myself unsure of what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. That's a pretty fair way to feel with him.
So this is another just toxic and then keep going.
It sure is. Luckily, he's not quite as tanky, so it won't take quite as long. And you'll also be pleased to know that he's the last boss of this nature.
I'm very pleased.
Now we're just in Firebomb City for the rest of the time.
Aggie, did you go to college?
I didn't go to college. I went to IUPUI. That stands for Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. It's a complete mouthful.
So it's not Purdue, and it's not...
It is Purdue, technically. My degree says Purdue, but I didn't go to Purdue.
Go Pistons? Fly? Oh, wait, no, I know this.
Okay.
No, I know this.
You're sort of close.
It's something really unconventional. Boiler?
Yeah.
Boiler something?
You're red hot. You're red hot.
Oh. Oh, no. Okay, what is it? You can tell me.
It's the Boilermakers.
Boilermakers. I knew it was like a machine or something like that.
I mean, I think a Boilermaker is a job title.
Yes, but like, you know what I mean, like something related to a machine.
Something industrial.
What did you study as a Boilermaker?
I studied computer science.
Wow, we got a CS guy on our hands.
A CS speedrunner is a very rare thing indeed. No one does that.
Yeah, there's no other speedrunners that studied computer science. None.
Yep. Yeah, IUPUI actually has their own mascot separate from the Boilermakers.
Oh, yeah?
So I am a Jaguar.
That's
Isn't
exciting.
that great? Yeah. That's maybe the most generic mascot of all time.
Where I went to school, we were the Ducks.
I like that.
I like it too. And once a year, they did it my freshman and my sophomore year, but I don't think they did it after that. Maybe they did, I don't know. I just walked to campus one day, and there was a massive inflatable duck on the lawn, like 20 or 30 feet tall.
That's pretty cool.
And so I took a picture of myself praying to it, because I figured that was only right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Checks
that's the whole story.
I liked it. It was a good story.
Thank you. And I studied physics.
Ooh. Would you share your GPA with us? Were you a good physics student?
Undergrad or grad GPA?
Okay, well, whichever you're more proud of.
I
Oh.
I think I finished undergrad with a 3.79 or a 3.8.
Sheesh, okay. He's a genius.
I think it was more 3.7. And then grad was like a low 3.7 or a high 3.6, I think.
That's pretty impressive stuff.
I'm gonna find out. What was your GPA?
Like a 3.4 maybe. Respectable.
I think 3.4 is super respectable, especially for CS. That stuff is beyond me.
I took a physics class.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was beyond me.
See, we all are good at what we're good at.
It's true. This guy's almost dead. That's nice.
I feel like he's been a part of this conversation too.
Yeah, he's contributed. He's definitely contributed.
He's just hanging out. I do love the throwing knives. It truly... It's really...
Where would we be without the throwing knives?
Certainly very slightly higher.
Oh man, but that was a little spooky.
I think, you know, for those of you in the chat that perhaps had a lower GPA than either Aggie or myself, all you should know is that if you managed to get through some college at all, I think that is very impressive.
100%.
We are, as a society, holistically often unprepared for what college is going to be. So if you manage to pass a couple classes, good for you. And
yep.
I am not meaning that in a deprecative way. I genuinely mean that. Like, it's a weird mental health battle to just pay all that money for people to tell you stuff.
It is a battle, that's for sure. Let's get more health. So Bed of Chaos coming up next. Gonna walk through the spaghetti lake here real quick. This one will definitely go pretty quick. I'm definitely not gonna die in the Bed of Chaos and have to walk back through this. Nope.
I like that confidence.
See, we have a strategy for Bed of Chaos for once in our lives. Instead of just chucking firebombs and praying or throwing knives. It's a little thing called Toki bombs. And what you do is we're gonna go right in front of her stupid face. Where am I going? Okay, we're gonna go right in front of her stupid face. And then we're gonna use the short bow to aim at very specific angles. And then we're just gonna let some firebombs rip. We're gonna take out the two side things from the middle and then just be able to go straight to her little bug thing and smack her.
Apparently, GPA is only an American thing.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea, genuinely. GPA is grade point average, so like an A is a 4.0 and an F would be 0 or whatever. And then your classes are weighted based on how many credits or units for non-Americans. I don't know, hours, whatever. If it's like 3 credit hours a week, it might be weighted more heavily than a 2 credit hour a week class and so forth. And all of your semesters are averaged together to get your overall. And this is a benchmark used for high school going into college, like getting into colleges, and also getting into harder classes in college, or getting jobs sometimes, or going to grad school.
Yep. Okay, so once again, consumable only for attacking. But we're using some items here to help us aim. That's fine. That's kosher. We're gonna two-hander bow here. Walk on up. Do I not have fire bombs? There we go. And we're gonna stand on this spot. I'm gonna aim right. Oh god, this is weird on the sensitivity. That should hit. It does. Right there. That should hit. It does. And we're moving on in. Voila.
This fight
See,
sucked
chat.
casually.
Yeah, it does suck casually, very much. All right, she's immune to firebombs. Don't cheese me. Okay. That was mildly terrifying for a second there. Oh, look at that, Lord's hold down.
1 of 4.
Yep. Don't worry. We're on pace. We're definitely on pace.
We could take our second break real quickly if you want.
Would it be possible to try to get one more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Let's try to get one more then.
Sure.
We're gonna go to Seath next, because Seath is just hanging out by himself. He has no other boss in his path. Quite nice. Let's get some endurance and some more health. Cool. 40 is the soft cap for health. After that, you start getting pretty diminishing returns. The 40 is a good place to round the health off.
I'd also like to round off the conversation on college by saying that also it's perfectly valid if you chose not to go to college.
That is
College
also
is
true.
definitely not for everyone. It's not even important for everyone. It's just, like everything else in life, everyone's path is different. And this was Papa Adef's heavily non-deserved pedestal of talking, which is the second.
Good job,
now.
Ada.
Hey, thanks. I'm gonna talk myself out of this hole by letting you commentate the video game.
Okay, so we're just gonna play Matador for a second with these bolts. Just roll on by him. I'm gonna do a not glitch skip, or at least I'm gonna try to do a not glitch skip, is maybe a better way to put it. Called Duke skip. It's a little tricky. Basically, we're gonna take up an elevator and then we're gonna send it back down, but we're gonna roll on top of this railing as it goes down. And then we are going to skip our way to a later point in the level so we don't have to go through a bunch of baloney. The thing is, if I screw it up, I'm gonna die. Most likely. And this may come as a shock, but I'm maybe not incredible at this skip.
Did you get the Duke's Archive bonfire?
I didn't, because the bowl there deactivates it until you kill him, and I just really don't want to deal with that guy. There is a bonfire immediately after getting it, though.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I know you can, if you quickly save and quit, you can avoid death sometimes, right?
Correct. Yes.
I know
So we'll see if we can do it.
a wee bit about this trick, but that's it.
Okay. Screwed it up last time. That's okay. We screwed it up in a way that's not going to immediately kill me. That's the good news. And luckily, after pulling the lever, we can quit out. Pulling the lever, we can quit out. Just immediately get this back up here. So it's pretty quick to retry. Took an L on that one again. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we'll try it 2 more times. Give it 2 more times.
2 more times.
The section that skips isn't really that bad. It just takes a little bit of time. I don't have to kill anything, thank God. It's just a lot of walking. Hey, there we go. We've done it.
Very nice.
So yeah, that prevents us from going to Seath's jail and having to break out and go all the way around this archives place. Very convenient. Just pull the lever here, and that'll get us access to a bonfire.
I always wish I could go down ladders like that.
Yeah, that'd be dope, wouldn't it?
I feel
I
like
can't
maybe
imagine it works that well in real life.
Maybe I could try. There definitely can't be anything sticking out of the ladder on the outside rungs at all.
No, definitely not.
Maybe with the right gloves. I don't know. I'm gonna try this. I'm invigorated.
Maybe have a safety mat at the bottom.
Fine. You know what? Just for you, I'll put a crash mat at the bottom.
Good. Maybe start with a shorter ladder.
Man, all these safety concerns.
I mean, you know, I don't like to wing things. I like to prepare before I do anything, especially in like a public setting, like on a show per se.
Where, oh, well, I didn't say I was really gonna do it right now. But, you know, yeah, I wouldn't do something like pick a run and then, you know, just sort of wing it. And
that would be irresponsible.
That would be definitely irresponsible for sure.
For sure.
No, you truly, this has been super enjoyable. I've been really enjoying this.
I've had a good time.
We've had very scuffed things on this show. It's all good. Plus, like, this challenge is obviously genuinely difficult.
It's a little tricky at times, yeah. No one bats 100.
It's called dirty sliding a ladder. We learn it in the fire department. What?
Wow, that's cool.
All right, maybe I need to go to my local fire department and ask them to teach me. I'm sure that's a great use of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
This is a cool area, I agree.
It would be cooler if it had a bonfire, but besides that, yeah.
That's true. I also dislike the clam boys, but that's it.
Yeah. Clams are a bit of a bummer. So Seath is nothing too bad except for his clams. But he'll kill the clams at some point. Yeah, let's see, they'll die. Question is, will I die before they die? The answer is of course not, because I'm a professional Dark Souls gamer. That clam's still alive, okay. So Seath is pretty chill. Nothing super crazy with Seath. There is the chance of me getting cursed, which would obviously suck a lot. That should be fairly easily avoidable, as long as I'm not an idiot. Which, I mean, maybe a big if, to be fair. I feel like the clams really mess with my flow here. Usually, it's a pretty predictable pattern to his attacks. Kind of in a weird spot now. He's gonna do a little tail dance. Yep. You need to turn around, sir. We're facing a wall. Thank you. That went straight through him. Incredible. So Adef, on a scale of 1 to 10, how glad are you that this guy takes damage from firebombs?
10.
Yeah, me too.
10.
This is going by a little faster.
A little bit. I also, I just, you know, on these bosses, especially the ones that move faster, I just kind of am an audience member myself.
Oh, you are all good. Yeah, all 4 of the Lord Soul bosses. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Okay, that was close. All 4 of the Lord Soul bosses are completely immune to poison and toxic. So it's just a lot of firebombing. One more will do the trick, and there he goes. Bye,
GG
Mr. C.
Gamer.
Thank you. All right, and just like that, we are 2 out of 4 Lord Souls. See, we might actually have a chance of making the estimate here.
We might. You ready to pause?
I am ready to pause if you are.
All right, 3, 2, 1, pause. Gamers, will be right back. Do not go anywhere. We're literally just going to be gone for a couple minutes. Get up, stretch your legs, get some water. Be right back with more GDQ hotfix right after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick hotfix. This is Challenger Approaching. I'm Adef, and we have Lil Aggie showing off Dark Souls Consumables Only run. We've been having a great time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for returning. Those of you who are coming back. Just a few quick announcements. GDQ Some of Best Segments is now launched on YouTube. It's a highlight channel with regular videos like our main channel, but with small highlight reels for all of our main events and hotfix. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to join us over at twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to check out our live shows starting most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And while you're there, hotfix is funded in part to thanks to your subscriptions and bits, so please consider subscribing to help with our future broadcasts. Aggie, give us a countdown and take it away when you're ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, go.
There you go. That's a countdown.
That was a countdown, yeah. Okay, so we have done 2 out of 4 Lord Souls. The ones that are left are Nito and 4 Kings. Nito is by far the easier option out of those 2, so that is going to be the next schmove.
Which means you will have to kill Pinwheel, correct?
I will have to kill Pinwheel, yes. Which
Okay.
everyone knows that Pinwheel is a real tough boss.
Yes, very hard.
So yeah, that might take us a couple tries.
I genuinely hated the Tomb of the Giants. It is my least favorite area in the game, no question.
It's pretty terrible. It is pretty terrible.
The Catacombs I was okay with.
Catacombs are also pretty terrible. Not as bad as Tomb of the Giants, but also
No, not
pretty
even
terrible.
close. Not even. There's literally an NPC that just kills you.
Yep.
I mean, like, I knew he was going to do it based on the way he was talking, like it was evident to me, but I did it anyway.
You gotta let patches do this thing. So we're just making our way downtown here. 57 black fire bombs, I believe, is probably enough. Tell I'm really confident in this estimate. It's definitely enough for Pinwheel. Well, we'll see what my count's looking like once we get past Pinwheel. I might have to go shopping again. But we got the cash money, so it'll be okay. We're gonna do a convenient little drop to skip the majority of the catacombs here if I don't buy the skeletons. Okay, deal. So right here, if we just walk off, we conveniently land on that. We do a little healing. Jump down here. Conveniently land on that.
Oh, that is like the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's like literally
the whole
there.
thing. Yep.
I do like the skeleton cars. I mean, I hate them, but I think they're funny.
Okay, yeah. Like was an interesting word to choose there. They're funny.
I think they're very silly, but they're pretty terrible.
Yeah. So Pinwheel here, I mean, he's not as much of a pushover as he would normally be. He's still mostly a pushover. I don't have any heals, which is a little spooky, but I think we'll be okay. I think we will manage.
Wow, that did a lot.
Yeah. The only thing about Pinwheel is that it just keeps disappearing. It's actually been a pretty tame fight. Usually he at least does a little more than that, but you know, no complaints here. All right, and that's Pinwheel down, which gets us the right of kindling. What that does is it means that we can kindle bonfires up to 20 Estus instead of 10 Estus, which is very nice for the Firelink bonfire that I don't have access to because I forgot to kill Lautrec, so we should probably kill him at some point. We'll wait till after Nito to accomplish that task. We're gonna grab this bonfire here because this one is actually warpable, thank God. Now we're gonna go buy some more black firebombs, just in case. I think 48 might be enough for Nito, but it's definitely not enough for Nito and then 4 Kings, so gonna have to go shopping one way or another.
Did we cover who your favorite boss was?
I think I said Calamite, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Big dragon. He's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool.
Favorite base game boss, I think, is Gaping Dragon, so I'm just all about the dragons.
I think that's understandable. Again, the sort of like fighting scale.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're huge bosses are cool. I found Gaping Dragon to be quite easy on my casual playthrough. I don't know if I was like over leveled, but
he's easy, but he is cool.
He is cool. It's a really cool design. You can also get Firelink to 20 without kindling if you deposit a Lord Soul in the Lord Vessel and talk to the revived Firekeeper afterward.
Okay, well, that is something the Dark Souls expert here did not know. Interesting. I mean, I have the humanity to spare, but that is quite interesting.
SMH expert.
The first time my expertise has been called into question all night.
What would you say I'm an expert in, Aggie?
I think you're an expert in hosting wonderful GDQ shows.
I'm gonna cry. Who's the most attractive boss? Definitely Gravelord Nito, no question.
I'm gonna go Gaping Dragon again.
I think another reasonable answer.
We're gonna use that Rite of Kindling to get to 20 Estus here because Nito, he's just kind of annoying, to be honest.
I love that background.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I mean, like, FromSoft truly is the best at skyboxes in the game industry, in my opinion. Like, I also, for some reason, and I can't really explain it, but ever since I was a kid, I am, like, enamored by backgrounds that show an area you've either already been to or an area you're about to go to.
It is a neat little touch.
And that background is Lost Izalith, or, like, the area leading up to it, right?
Yep.
And that kills me.
That is one of the things Dark Souls 1 absolutely does better than any of the other games in the series.
I would agree with that. The other skyboxes are still great, but none of them really reference other areas besides this game.
Yep.
Or at least not as well.
Elden Ring skyboxes are also incredible. True. I can't say that I know how much they represent where you can go, but
right.
they're very pretty.
I'm trying to stay away from as much info as I can. I watched a little bit of the gameplay trailer.
Okay.
But I'm pumped.
I will hold my tongue. I got to play last week.
How was it? Like
it was
generally
it was
speaking?
amazing.
Yes.
I am so excited. So very excited.
That's awesome. When is it? Like February 2022?
February 25th, I think, is the magic date.
I'm looking forward to it. And if they need more time, it's theirs. Will I be sad?
I guess, yeah.
Sure, but I'd like the game to be perfect. All right, good luck with Nito.
Thank you, thank you. Nito is just firebomb central. Can I snipe him from all the way over here as he crawls over? I did. Let's go.
Let's go.
Insane damage.
Oh, let's go. Ladder stall.
So the problem with Nito is this freaking skeleton buds that are just constantly bugging you. Luckily, Nito can hit them himself. And ideally he does. Because I don't want to kill him. That's annoying. But yeah, it's pretty much just dodge him as best you can. Hit Nito. Spam heal. I was in range of that apparently. Okay. I'm very bad at dodging that attack. That is a weird one. There's actually a very cheesy way to dodge that if I had a weapon. For most weapons, if you two-hand it and then just hold block, the little thing will go between your feet and not hit you. It's a very convenient, cool way to dodge it. This freaking skeleton. He also has a bit of a strange hitbox in that, like, his cloak, like, sort of blocks attacks, but also sort of doesn't. So you have to at least attempt to hit him in the face kind of area.
Nice dodge.
Thank you, thank you. That was some good damage.
That's some real good damage.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Man, these skelly boys are...
I know.
For not having muscles, they're quite active.
Yep. They're the worst. They're the real boss. They will infinitely respawn unless you have a divine weapon to kill them with. Which, for some reason, firebombs just don't count as a divine weapon.
I find that so confusing.
I know.
That was a particularly bold firebomb, I think.
You know, you gotta take some gambles here and there. Get this guy dead in a reasonable amount of time. We've had plenty of marathon bosses, so I'm ready to blitz through.
What did Gwyn see in this guy?
You know, I just don't know.
That's what I thought, because, you know, you read the lore and it's like, Gwyn trusted the Lord Souls to these 4 individuals. I'm like, this guy?
He doesn't seem like the most trustworthy individual.
I don't see him and think like, oh yeah, my most prized possession? This going to this guy.
Alright, like 4 or 5 more?
You know, the guy made of pure darkness and fear and the undead remains of many people that used to serve me. That's the guy I want.
Yep. Thank you, skeleton. Skeletons, I just need you to cooperate for just a little longer here.
Ray.
Okay.
Very nice.
Good work.
Railcoon said, did that skeleton just get down, Mr. President Nito? I believe so. Multiple times.
Yeah, they like to do that. We're team players.
They already died once.
True. Yeah. What do they got to lose?
I know. Clearly, dying again.
Yeah. All right, so all I have left is 4 kings. The thing about that is the closest bonfire to 4 kings is the Firelink Shrine one. You know, the one that I forgot to text from Lotric. So we gotta go kill Lotric real quick. Just a slight detour. This probably won't take long. He's not very tough. So yeah,
Doesn't he
feel
show
the
up
black
with like
eye
a few guys?
Yeah, so he's got a couple buddies with him. They're all pretty weak. It shouldn't be that bad, I don't think. I can't say I've done this consumable only before, but you know, there's a first time for everything.
This is first time content. Live.
Yeah.
Live on
We're
your
doing it
Challenger
live.
Approaching. We are doing it live.
Let's try and do a little sniping here. See how that works out. Well, that works pretty good, actually.
We do a little sniping.
Where are they going? Oh, okay.
To fight the fire bombs? Oh, see you guys.
So all that we have to kill here is the dude in gold armor. The guys that are glowing white do not matter. They'll despawn if we kill Lotric. So I can't throw firebombs when he's talking to me. That's really awkward. I'm curious if he's tougher here than he is in Firelink. I think he might be. In terms of his HP pool.
I thought you meant like challenge difficulty, and
Not a whole lot.
I was pretty sure the strat in the Firelink was you just kick him off the edge.
Normally, yes, but a foot is not a consumable, so I was gonna basically do this. But I think it takes a little less in Firelink. Okay, thank God that wasn't a dead end.
Gamers, how are you enjoying this content and not following Lil Aggie on Twitch? This is just like such a confusing thing to me that you wouldn't be following.
If you're a fan of Dark Souls masochism, I am definitely your guy. Oh man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that stun lock? Come on, Lotric. You little dork. I hate you.
Angry words.
That is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. You know what we can do, actually, that I just thought of, is I could go from this bonfire and just kindle this one to be 20, and then just warp, and that'll work. It's a little awkward, but it works. I'm just sad because we got that close, and then screwed it up.
So when the Firekeeper is gone, the handful of issues, right, are just that the Firelink Shrine bonfire is not lightable, right?
Correct.
And can you not improve your Estus flasks?
Correct. Actually, I can maybe improve them at Wailana.
Yeah, no, that should work, right?
Yeah. So we can at least get +2. Actually, +3 if I use the Firekeeper Soul from this lady. Which is definitely a good idea.
I think so. The Firelink Shrine music is goated.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. Ooh. Send that back up for the next trip. So there is a Firekeeper Soul right at the start of this area. It's quite convenient. So we are going to get that, and then I'm going to lower the water, and then I'm going to port back to the bonfire, go to Quailana, get a +3 Estus, which is going to be way better. And then we'll try our luck with the dreaded 4 kings. There's that. Oh, actually, that didn't do any damage. Okay. I was expecting we might have to do a little quitting out there, but we're good. These ghosties are a little annoying. So the deal with them is you cannot attack them unless you use an item called a Transient Curse, which we picked up a couple of at the start of the area. We're only going to attack them in one particular area where there's just a huge swarm of them where you have to climb a ladder. And it just gets real awkward if you try to climb up without killing them, because you'll probably just get knocked down. Right here, I'm going to quit out just so that we get rid of any potential aggro we already have. Load back in, heal myself up a little bit. Pop our Transient Curse. This lady right here's gotta go. And all her little friends. Mostly the Screamy Lady though, which I did not get to, unfortunately. Luckily, firebombs are actually super good against them. We should be able to make it up here. Yeah, it's not a fun area. We should be able to make it up there before they knock us down. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
This guy's gonna give us a seal key. And that's all we need from it.
OTEP?
I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
That's what that reminded me.
OTEP's a classic. I'm familiar.
Yeah.
What's that guy
Yeah,
from?
that's also Odyssey.
Is
He's
it?
a
Is it
different.
OTEP?
It's a different band member.
Okay.
The OTEP guy is just one of the band members, but the other guys say other stuff when they give you the moon.
I think OTEP's the guy in the park, right?
Is it?
I don't think he's part of the band.
No, I think he is. He not? I don't know.
I think he might be.
Okay, well, one of the band member guys definitely says "yow," and I really like that.
I don't remember that guy. That sounds pretty great, though. All right. Bonus out of here. We're gonna go to the Daughter Chaos, turn in the Estus Flask Shards. Or, no, that's not what they are. They're Firekeeper Souls in this game. There we go. I have one. Does that one not count? I guess it doesn't count. I thought it did. What is it, a key item? Well, whatever.
Whatever, you got one at least.
Plus 2 is still an improvement, yeah.
And you would have had to have gotten that one for this.
True, correct. All right. Time to shop again, chat. We definitely want 99 black fire bombs for this. This is by far the hardest fight in the whole run. Almost assuredly gonna die at least once. Hopefully, we get the breakthrough in time.
So there's just 2 bosses left.
Yeah. The ending comes up quick in this game. You feel like you're not even close to the end, and then you're at the end.
Feels like just a moment ago we were stuck in Quelaag for a while.
Yep. I think it took us an hour to get to Anne Orlando, and then we were 2 hours later after that. We're done. Almost.
He did not get the Firekeeper Soul in Blighttown, no?
Yeah, no, I skipped that one.
That one kind of sucks.
It definitely sucks a lot.
Also, consumables only, that would be horrible.
Yeah, it's not the best. I could get it. It is an option. We'll see how it goes without it. All right, max fire bombs. Not equip the other stuff because we don't need it. Where are my freaking boats? There we go. You know, I should have done this one. That would have been smart. Should have kindled this one instead of the one in Nido Land.
Oh.
Because this one's warpable.
Well, hindsight.
Yeah, doesn't matter that much. NBD. Oops. Okay, max kindling, cool.
All right, Aggie. Where are we feeling? 1 to 10. How we feeling?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. What a god.
Never felt more confident. I forgot to level up. I definitely want to spend these before I lose. And we can't sit down at the Firelink one because we can't. I'm actually gonna put these in Faith, just in case we need the wrong word. Because we need 18 Faith to wrong word. So that's what we'll do if we cannot beat these 4 kings. We can just skip straight to Gwyn.
I think it's good to have a backup plan.
Action. Yeah.
Is there a quick way through New Londo, or is it like
There's a
I don't know if there are
slightly
any
quicker way.
skips.
I would not call it quick, but it's quicker than the intended path at least. We still got to go down into the ruins, and then we can slide along a wall to get down to the lower part without having to take the elevator and go through little wooden shacks and all that. Still one of the longer runbacks in the game.
Is it like fast at all to come back through the Valley of the Drakes?
I would say no. I think Firelink is faster. I can't say I've timed it, but...
You're loving this run, then follow the laggy. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
It's the least you can do.
All right, here we go, moment of truth.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, just before this even starts, this is going to be an extremely long fight. Like, this does not do much damage. And it's very spooky. So I'm gonna be probably in full concentration mode.
I won't interrupt you.
Oh, you can interrupt me, that's fine. I just may not speak much myself. See that lovely whiff there on the auto aim. Very good. Thank you, video game.
When you said really long, I thought it was gonna be way worse than this.
I mean,
It's not that bad.
There's only 2 kings spawned right now. Our rate of doing damage is gonna drop way down once we have to prioritize dodging. Also, fun fact about the 4 kings, for anyone that doesn't know, it's a complete scam and is more than 4 kings. They just spawn until they die. So like, I'll eventually kill this one, and you'd think there'd only be 3 kings left, right? But wrong. He will just spawn a 5th one to replace him. It's 4 kings at a time, not 4 kings total. So it never gets easier. Also, this purple fire attack basically never goes away. That's the worst thing ever. Okay, there's one. That's the easy part. These guys' swords do very little damage if you're like right on them. They will chunk you if they get at you with the tip. So you kind of want to just always be hugging one if you can. They also typically won't all attack you at the same time. They'll kind of take turns of like 2 or 3 of them doing their thing. So that's the worst. I was up against an invisible wall there. I can't believe I didn't get hit by that, honestly. That one straight through. Oh, there's the invisible wall again. That's very fun. Thank you, video game. I don't like how they're on both sides of me here. Oh, not the freaking stupid magic attack. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't mean to go for that one. Oh, man. Yeah, see, if they all choose to start attacking you like that, it gets really bad real quick. That was a decent attempt. It was 2/3 done.
That is rough.
It is, in fact, rough, yes.
I'm gonna say
that we got that far into it.
I'm gonna give you two options here. Two options.
Okay. Give me the two options.
I think probably give one more try.
Yep.
That's probably it.
Yep.
And then go straight to Gwyn, or just do Gwyn. Those are your options.
We'll give it one more try.
Let's give it one more shot.
We'll see if we can pull it off. I'm gonna spawn more black fire bombs so we don't have to go shopping.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
This
Just
is
the only reason, gamers,
Yeah.
that I would be cutting the time short is because there is another hotfix show after this, and I don't want to jip my fellow showrunner out of her slot.
And what is the hot show coming up?
The hot show.
Or the hotfix show coming up. The hot show. That's what the cool kids call it. I don't know if you're aware.
I think Legally Cute is after this. Let me make sure. Yeah, so Legally Cute is the show on after this, hosted by Cutie Roo. I'm not exactly sure what is being played, but I think Cutie Roo is in the chat. I'll be happy to relay the information on the stream if she's willing to type in what is coming up.
Habal armor would be nice for this fight, as chat pointed out. I would need to have a lot more endurance to reasonably wear that. I'm actually not sure exactly how much, but more than I have, definitely.
Don't forget to spawn in the bombs.
Oh, yep. I'll do it while we fall here. Bam. Totally legit gameplay.
Totally legit gameplay. we will be seeing Hamtaro, Powerpuff Girls,
Ooh.
Hide and Seek, and Animaniacs and Sonic 2. That's 4 games.
That is a lot of games.
Specifically Hamtaro Ham Ham Heartbreak.
Oh, well, that's the best Hamtaro game, obviously.
I haven't played any Hamtaro games, but I know people like
I haven't
them.
either, but I just know it's the best one.
Okay.
I just have a feeling.
Yes, the hotfix content will continue after this run is over. It is quite a juxtaposition, granted. Go straight
Maybe
from Dark Souls
slightly different.
into Hamtaro, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, it's not a typo. Powerpuff Girls Him and Seek is the name of the game. I just assumed that was a typo.
Have you ever watched Powerpuff Girls?
The TV show?
Yeah.
Sure. I watched it when I was growing up.
Well, then surely you remember him, right?
I don't remember the game or the show remarkably well.
Okay. Him's the weird
which
red
villain
dude?
is him? Is that the red one?
Yeah.
Okay. The only villain that I really remember is Mojo Jojo.
I mean, he's the OG. That one went significantly less well. That's a bit of a bummer.
I think I might stick to my guns on this one, King. I apologize.
All right. Well, we tried our best with 4 Kings. I'm a little sad. I've done it before. It's a terribly difficult time. I was thinking we would probably struggle a little less on the way to him, so we'd have more attempts at him. But that, you know, sometimes it just doesn't go that way.
If you want to see a full attempt of challenge runs where you see the 4 Kings, gamers, there's really only one place to be. And I know you know the rest of it. This guy.
Such little language.
This guy right here. I don't know why, but I think he's silly.
I can be a little silly. It's okay. I'm mashing and I'm not actually doing the thing. Join the covenant. So we're gonna wrong warp to Gwyn. This is a neat little glitch that we can show off. Well, at least we can do that. I'm not very good at this version of it. I normally play the Prepare to Die edition, where the wrong warp is quite a bit different. Oh, we're gonna buy some spells here. Okay.
Come again.
Then we are going to go down to Firelink Altar.
Sorry, fool. You go-
Gotta sit down. I'll offer the Lord Souls that we had, at least. Why not? Make an effort. And then, so we've sat down here, and this is going to be our set bonfire location for whenever we use a Homeward Bone or a Homeward spell. But what we're gonna do is I'm going to cast the Homeward spell, and then I'm going to sit down at this bonfire right as it pops off. Actually, I didn't get 18 Faith, do I? No, I don't. Okay. 1 second. I gotta get 18 Faith. This Homeward requires it. Luckily, we have Soul Spell. Is that enough? It is, just barely. Okay, so we've sat down at this bonfire. We're gonna warp to Undead Parish. And then we are going to equip 2 talismans here. I'm gonna take this one out of my hand for a second. We're gonna do a big jump and land on this railing. Okay, we're done. Big jump onto the railing. I forgot to attune the spells. That's a typically good idea when you're trying to use the spell swap glitch. So let's go that real quick. Okay, excellent.
This is the perfect end to this run.
This is the perfect end of this run. I also forgot that I need 1 more level in attunement to attune 2 spells. Because of course I do. Luckily, we have souls to do another level. And I only need one more level on attunement. Excellent. Okay, attune spells. Yep. Homeward and Force. And now we go to Undead Parish. Okay.
Everybody better be taking notes, because every single thing that Lil Aggie has done,
Absolutely,
including every warp, is required.
This is it's very complicated setup here. Very, very, very complicated. So we gotta get on top of this railing. Like that. Gotta get both of our things out. I gotta get naked here so I can see what's going on with my feet. And hold on. Okay, so we want to do that, except we want to cast Homeward instead of Force. So that was close to correct. Not quite though. Basically, we are casting Force with a talisman, swapping to Homeward, and casting Homeward with the other talisman all at the same time. And falling off this rail as well. Because reasons. I don't know why he punched them. We just gotta do this once, and then I'll make a save point just in case we don't first try Gwyn, but we'll probably first try Gwyn. So I'm a master gamer. Why is it buffering an attack? Let's not what we want to see. Okay. Oh my gosh. I haven't done this one in a little bit. It's not super difficult, but it's definitely not super free either. Okay, we got it there, but I sat down just a little too early. So we gotta set it back up again. But you see that my hands were glowing gold? That's the good. That means we're casting Homeward while moving. I just got a little too antsy with the sit down.
Hey, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us wants to see you go hello.
That was a great impression.
Thank you. I thought about asking you if I should do it, and then I figured I'll just do it.
Just wing it though. Why not? Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Well, well. So this is like a proper wrong word, kind of.
This is a proper wrong word, Bill. I believe that worked. Yeah. So what happened there? Basically,
I don't know.
oops, wrong slot. Basically, our homeward like bonfire to warp 2 was still set on the Firelink altar one, which is the bonfire in this map where you turn the Lord Souls in. And when you homeward, it selects that map and then it selects the coordinates based on where the bonfire is to put you at the right place. But what we did is basically we started homeward, it selects the map it wants to take us to, and then right before it pops off, we sit down at the other bonfire, which changes our coordinates. And so it looks at those coordinates, says these coordinates don't line up with this map. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna put them at 0, 0. And 0, 0 just happens to be on the other side of the door for this area.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have some questions.
Okay.
1, do you wear armor for this fight?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
2. What happens if you die?
If I die, I have to do it again. But I'm going to make a save state just in case. Because, yeah. They're gonna quit here to lose their aggro, and I'm gonna make a save state real quick, just in case I somehow manage to die. I know it wouldn't be very like me, but you know, just in case.
You never know.
You never know. All right. Put our clothes back on. I actually don't have the strength for this shield. I don't think it matters, but it's probably fine. Don't worry about it, Chip. It's probably fine.
The theme of this run continues.
So I missed the parry. I think it might matter, actually. I think it might mess with the parry timing if I don't have the strength.
You could
That's
use a
not
little
good.
Aggie glitch to increase your strength.
You know, I think I could. That's a great point. What if we just use the little Aggie glitch to increase my strength by 1?
Guys, this is a well-known, well-documented glitch.
Yep.
That only happens to him. His stats just go up. His items increase. It's pretty spectacular.
Yep. Okay, bad news. It turns out that they disabled that feature in the totally not cheat program that I'm using because of anti-cheat.
You could Lil Aggie glitch yourself a different shield.
I could little Aggie glitch myself a different shield. You just have all the ideas.
I'm just gaming over here. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with the target shield. What would I do without you?
Probably wail and cry.
Yeah?
Or your life would be pretty much exactly the same.
I don't think so.
You need armor, Chief.
We'll be okay.
Okay. Look at you go.
So yeah, this is the classic parry cheese for Gwyn. The only problem is when he does stuff like that. He'll probably cooperate enough.
I think it's probably helpful that, you know, obviously the position you're in is a little bit more stressful, so in that moment when you realize you couldn't increase your strength, it was probably a little nerve-wracking.
True.
But I
True.
am not in a nervous position, so yeah, I think you would have figured it out. This commentator is good. That's good to hear because I don't know anything about this game.
When you little goober. You little goober.
Little boober.
Little goober. Mr. Parry there.
Gamers, please get your spirit out. We're spirit bombing now. Put your favorite emotes in the chat. It's time to give Aggie your power. This is the final stretch here. And we need all the strength we can get. Literally.
Yeah. I believe in us.
And also, my final piece of good advice is make a new save after you do all this stuff.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
There we go. So I'm not sure exactly what the total count is on parries here. It's definitely a few though.
More than one, less than 100.
Yep. I think maybe 36? Because it takes 3 a bar, and I think there's 12 bars? Is the math check out there?
That's quick maths.
Thank you.
Man knows trigonometry.
I don't think that's trigonometry, but okay.
I'm just quoting Big Shaq here, the guy that said quick maths.
Oh, okay.
AKA my hero.
All of our heroes.
Oh, truly.
So yeah, I mentioned earlier that when you use an item, it kind of interacts with the boss AI. Gwyn's AI tells him to do that really slow sweep attack if you're using an item for some reason. That one right there. Which is quite convenient for us.
People in chat asking, with the dung pies, how many times do you have to do this?
Dung Pies takes about 30 to toxic him. And remember when I had said that he does not die from one Dung Pie toxicing. So you gotta do that twice.
How long's the fight?
About 15 minutes.
That's so tragic.
Yeah, it took me 4 hours to pull that off. It was pretty rough. This time, though, not so bad. That will do it. Bye-bye, Gwyn.
Gamer. Absolute legend.
Okay.
It's over, Aggie. It's over.
It's over. We made it, sort of, technically. No cheats whatsoever.
Time, by the way.
Yep. Time.
Oh boy. Well, gamers, here's what I gotta say. Here are my thoughts. First of all, obviously, Aggie, this run probably didn't go exactly as you wanted it to, but
It was a little off the mark.
it was pretty damn entertaining. I had a great time. So
I had a great time, too.
do not even worry about it. And gamers, if you enjoyed this run at all, I know people are often like, follow this runner, but like, truly, you're not gonna regret it. Lil Aggie is very worth following. Lots of Sekiro speedrunning, Dark Souls challenge runs, sometimes some Odyssey stuff, who knows?
Yeah, back in the day.
And genuinely worth your time.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Let's see here. I promise I'm not always that terrible. Just half the time, okay? It's a good time. It makes it entertaining, right? You never know which Aggie you're gonna get when you turn into my stream. You know, is he gonna be good today? Is he gonna be bad today? I don't know. Today we were bad, but you know, that's okay. I think that's kind of the fun thing. Yeah, I think it's kind of the fun thing about challenge runs. I almost am glad that it went poorly because it shows that you don't have to be a complete god gamer to have fun with video games and do speedruns and do challenge runs and just do all sorts of wacky stuff. I mean, I think
I'm gonna drop a big fat word on that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're interested in something, it doesn't matter how good you are. You should just do it. Just do it. Why not?
I agree. And also, Aggie, I'm sure we'll have you back.
Yeah.
We'll be back. You'll
I'll
be
do
back
better
for
next
another
time.
challenge run. Well, you don't have to.
Give me Sekiro, and then we'll go very smoothly. I promise.
Deal. We'll have you back on for Sekiro in the new year.
All right.
Excellent. Gamers, thank you so much for watching. Of course, we have more GDQ Hotfix content coming right up. We have Legally Cute with Cutie Roo and 4 amazingly cute games, starting with, I believe, Hamtaro. But first, a couple quick announcements, of course. If you miss out on any GDQ Hotfix shows, check out our archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And AGDQ 2022 gamers will be starting January 9th. That's just a few short weeks away. Visit GamesDoneQuick.com for more information and detailed dates on the event. I have been Adef. I will see you all next for PB Precipice in a week and a half on Sunday. That's my other show. But other than that, we'll have on Challenger approaching next time Dark Souls 3. We're continuing the Dark Souls trend. We will have a friend of mine on doing a Dark Souls 3 hitless attempt. So stay tuned for that. But gamers, we will see you for more hotfix in just a couple minutes.